Chapter 75. Xiao Han also knew that senior brother Fang did not pass by Blazing Flame City by chance. It was impossible for it to be such a coincidence. He must have chased after the demon monarch all the way here. At this moment, the expressions of the three true Qi stage experts that had descended previously were extremely awkward. In fact, deep fear could be seen in their eyes. The true energy realm martial artist, Murong Xiao, who was standing on the head of the gray dragon and had been clamoring to kill Xiao Han with his own hands, had now calmed down. He stared deeply at Xiao Han with a ruthless gaze, as if he was trying to remember Xiao Han's face, before speaking to senior brother Fang. "Oh, it's Fang Ling, brother Fang. What? You want to protect this ant? Brother Fang, you and I are both demon heroes. There's no need to hurt our relationship for an ant. We might even have the chance to team up in the future. It's not wise to fall out with each other for an ant at the flesh-body realm." Murong Xiao, don't talk nonsense. Fang Ling's eyes were brewing with a peerless sword light. It was as if he was forming a kingdom of swords. "Murong Xiao, you don't have the right to work with me. Scram. Scram as far as you can. And you, Shi Mietian, old man Qin Yang, the three of you scram together. Count yourselves lucky that I don't want to kill anyone today." There was no threat or intimidation in Fang Ling's tone. It was as if he was stating a fact, and that fact was that the three true energy realm martial artists should scram. Domineering. Domineering that came from the bones. "What? You want us to scram?" The true energy realm martial artist, Shi Mietian, who was standing on the palm of the giant bear, turned pale. "Fang Ling, don't go too far. You are used to being domineering, but you must know that you are a demon hero and so are the three of us." "Shut up." Fang Ling's eyes turned and his sword howled. "One more word and you will die." Under Fang Ling's gaze, Shi Mietian felt an uncontrollable fear. It was as if a sharp sword was pressed against his throat. His entire body felt cold, and every cell in his body felt like it was submerged in an ice cellar. Very quickly, Shi Mietian's expression showed that he was angry but did not dare to speak. It was as if he was frightened and did not dare to say another word. Awesome. Xiao Han saw all of this with his own eyes. His heart was filled with joy. Before this, these three true Qi realm experts had threatened to massacre the entire city and seize life and death. How domineering was that? However, once senior brother Fang made his move, he returned the favor and treated the three true Qi realm experts as fish on the chopping block. His arrogance was so domineering that he could swallow the mountains and rivers, and he was the sole ruler of the city. However, Xiao Han understood in his heart that this change in roles was due to one's strength. What happened today made Xiao Han understand the law of the jungle even more vividly. One day when I reach the level of senior brother Fang, I will also be able to punish such arrogant and demonic Jinchi realm cultivators. I will be able to kill and exterminate them as I wish. That's what I call satisfying. Xiao Han looked at senior brother Fang and couldn't help but lick his lips, secretly making some vows. Brother Fang, are you trying to take all the credit for killing the North Mystic Demon Monarch? This seems to be slightly unreasonable, right? The old man with purple aura, Qin Yang, said with a fawning smile. Just the three of you? Do you really think you can get your hands on the North Mystic Monster King? What a joke. If I didn't slash the North Mystic Demon Monarch's sword from thousands of miles away, I'm afraid the three of you would have been annihilated. Even if the three of you killed the heavily injured North Mystic Demon Monarch and obtained the Demon Emperor Crystal, it would only be a crime because of your wealth. You will be pursued endlessly until you die. The Demon Emperor Crystal is not something people of your level can touch. Don't make a mistake. Anger and unwillingness flashed across the eyes of the three true Qi realm experts. The purple aura around Qin Yang reached the sky, and his ferocious aura filled the air. The giant bear that Shi Mietian was riding had a ferocious glint in its eyes. The gray dragon that Murong Xiao was riding moved its claws slightly. The three of them seemed to be ready to make a move. However, there was still a huge fear in their hearts. They didn't know if they should gamble with their lives. "It seems like the three of you want to try." Fang Ling smiled. His smile was cruel and hot. It was filled with a monstrous killing intent. Buzz, 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 buzz. The thousands of sword chi lotuses in the night sky trembled at the same time. Endless divine light and precious rays, as well as the world-destroying sword light, filled the entire night sky. Forget it, forget it. The purple aura old man's eyes were filled with fear. In the end he gave in and said hurriedly, "Brother Fang, the North Mystic Demon Monarch is yours. I will retreat quickly." "Congratulations, Brother Fang, you have obtained a great merit again. Your ranking on the Demon Hero ranking will probably rise." "Fang Ling, I can't win against you. I can't afford to offend you. I'm leaving. Shi Mietian was also dispirited. Murong Xiao said with a gloomy face. Fongling, you are powerful. You are domineering. The North Mystic Demon Monarch is yours. However, suddenly Murong Xiao changed the topic and looked at Xiao Han aggressively. Fongling, this brat roared at me. It is a heinous crime. You and I are both demon heroes. You should know that an ant of the physical body realm jumping around in front of us is a heinous crime. He should be torn into pieces. Otherwise, how can we demon heroes talk about dignity? Oh? Murong Xiao, it seems like you want to die here. I can fulfill your wish. It's just a sword. Fongling said indifferently. Fongling, do you dare to let him fight with me? Murong Xiao screamed. I also have my dignity. How about this? I will seal all the true meridians in my body. I will not use my true chi. I will fight with him using my physical body realm. I will take back my dignity. Oh. Fongling was stunned. Then he seemed to fall into deep thought. As for Xiao Han, what? This guy wants to fight with me? Without using his true chi? Xiao Han was stunned. At this moment, the scorching Flame City's crisis had been resolved. They did not need to suffer the misfortune of being massacred. Therefore, a portion of the people in the city had already extricated themselves from the state of fear and despair. Xiao Yunrong and Ah Cho looked at each other. At this moment, although Xiao Yunrong's beautiful face was still as pale as paper, her thoughts had already returned to normal. However, her sword heart and sword intent were greatly damaged because she lost control of her mind. It would take a long time for them to recover. Yunrong. Cousin Yunrong, it seems like that true Chi realm evil person wants to fight with Xiao Han. This is too ridiculous. The physical body realm and true Chi realm are worlds apart. I once heard that no matter how strong or how heaven-defying a person in the physical body realm is, it is impossible for a person in the true Chi realm to surpass a level and defeat a person in the true Chi realm. Ah Cho said while trembling. However, that guy said he wants to seal his true Chi and fight with Xiao Han using only his physical body realm cultivation. I wonder if Xiao Han has any chance of winning. After all, Xiao Han rarely meets an opponent in the physical body realm. If he takes this opportunity to defeat a true Chi realm expert with his true Chi sealed, it will be enough to shake the mountains and rivers. Impossible? Xiao Yunrong smiled bitterly. It is impossible for Xiao Han to defeat that true Chi realm expert. Even if true Chi realm experts seal their true acupoints and don't use true Chi, they have battle experience that a physical body realm expert cannot hope to have. They have the ability to judge between life and death, as well as the comprehension and control of martial skills and power. Even in terms of thinking, reaction and many other aspects, they far surpass a physical body realm expert. Also, the strength of a true Chi realm expert's flesh shell is not something a physical body realm expert can compare to. That is to say, Xiao Han has no chance at all? He will definitely lose. Yes. Fongling nodded his head slightly and said to Xiao Han, Xiao Han, do you dare to fight? I can tell you that even though you are already an outstanding existence in the physical body realm, against a true Chi realm expert with his true Chi sealed, especially a demon hero, you will still have a slim chance of survival. Fongling flicked his fingernails. Of course, fighting against a true Chi realm expert can temper your spirit and remove the impurities in your spirit, allowing you to obtain unexpected battle experience. If you are lucky enough to survive, you will have a bright future. It will be of great help in breaking through to the true Chi realm. Strangely enough, Fongling's eyes seemed to contain a hint of playfulness and encouragement. Senior Fong seems to want to test me? Xiao Han instantly understood. He wants to see how much potential I have? Kid, do you dare to fight? I have sealed my true meridians and have decided not to use even a trace of true Chi. Do you dare to fight? Murong Xiao laughed sinisterly. Damn it. He has sealed his true Chi, why wouldn't I dare? If I don't even dare to do this, how can I talk about dominating the world in the future? A domineering intent rose in Xiao Han's heart. He threw caution to the wind and said sternly. Senior Fong, as long as he seals his true Chi, I will naturally fight. I will die without regrets. A raging battle intent gushed out from Xiao Han's body. Jinchi realm cultivator, you insulted me just now, saying that killing me would be as easy as stepping on an ant. However, because you're in the Jinchi realm and I'm in the physical body realm, I don't have the qualifications to fight you. You are a knife and I am a fish on the chopping block. But since you have sealed your true Chi, I will definitely fight you. You have your dignity and I, Xiao Han, also have my dignity. Let's fight. What? Xiao Han really dares to fight? Ah Cho was extremely moved. Too reckless. Xiao Yunrong's face was filled with worry. Oh? Shermietian and the old man in purple aura Qingyang were also stunned. Soon after, their faces were filled with sneers. They looked at Xiao Han as if they were looking at a corpse. One move. I bet that this kid will be killed by Murong Xiao in one move. Old man Qingyang, do you dare to bet? Shermietian laughed. No, no, Qingyang laughed involuntarily. It's just one move. This young man is courting death. He probably thinks that he is a genius. What a pity. This young man is indeed interesting. No wonder Fang Ling appreciates him. If he dies like this, I will cherish his talent. Then let's fight. Fang Ling's eyes were filled with admiration as he nodded at Xiao Han. Xiao Han, let me see your potential. If you don't die, I will definitely grant you a great fortune. After pausing for a moment, Fang Ling looked straight at Murong Xiao. Murong Xiao, if you dare to use a trace of true qi, not only will I kill you, but I will also exterminate your entire clan. I Fang Ling always keep my word. This gaze penetrated deep into Murong Xiao's soul, causing him to tremble with fear. Alright Fang Ling, don't threaten me. To deal with this ant, I said that I won't use true qi, so I will definitely not use true qi. Let's fight. Ah. This is his own fault. Don't blame me, Murong Xiao. Murong Xiao laughed sinisterly. At the next moment, a palm-sized five-pointed star rushed out from Murong Xiao's body. Endless divine light and treasure light swirled around it, making it look extremely magical. Immediately after, five-pointed stars appeared from Murong Xiao's body one after another. There was a total of 26 five-pointed stars that lingered around Murong Xiao's body. Xiao, 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 the gray dragon beneath Murong Xiao's feet actually transformed into rays of divine light and completely disintegrated, merging into the 26 five-pointed stars bit by bit. Murong Xiao waved his right hand, and the devil hero token that was inserted into the ground like a stone tablet was also kept by Murong Xiao into a five-pointed star. What? That evil dragon wasn't a real dragon, but a ferocious creature that was created by this guy's true qi? It's a true qi cultivation method? Xiao Han's heart shook. In the blink of an eye, all 26 five-pointed stars returned to Murong Xiao's body and instantly dimmed. Murong Xiao's entire aura instantly changed from the unattainable true energy realm, which shone brilliantly like a treasure, to an ordinary one. However, even so, his aura was still much fiercer than all the other physical body stage martial artists. Bang! Murong Xiao jumped down from the sky. Both of his feet shook the ground, causing densely packed cracks to appear. Alright, I've already sealed the 26 true meridians in my body. Not a trace of true qi leaked out. We can fight now. Murong Xiao's eyes were like a ferocious beast as he laughed sinisterly at Xiao Han. There really isn't a trace of true qi fluctuation on this guy. Although his aura is still terrifying like a landslide or a tsunami, I can barely handle it. Xiao Han could clearly feel that when he faced Murong Xiao now, the pressure on him had melted like ice. He was no longer as sullen as before, as if he was suppressed by a group of mountains and unable to resist at all. Xiao Han stretched his body and walked directly in front of Murong Xiao. He stood far away. You've sealed all your true qi. Now you're just a piece of trash. That sentence shocked the entire city. Ha ha ha. Fang Ling laughed for the first time. This guy has my charm back then. Ah, he's crazy enough. I hope he has some real skills. Isn't he too arrogant? Xiao Yunrong was dumbfounded. Cousin Yunrong, you don't know. Xiao Han has always been like this in Cloud Rain sect. He's extremely domineering and unrestrained, Ah Cho said with a bitter smile. Ants? Murong Xiao's expression suddenly changed. He was so angry that his entire body was trembling, and his killing intent exploded. Die. Boom. All of a sudden, a giant gray dragon rushed out of Murong Xiao's body without any warning. It was purely formed by strength and not derived from true qi. However, it still had a head and a tail. The horns on its head were towering and it was 20 feet long. It broke through the air at a speed that surpassed the imagination of ordinary people. Its ferocious power was shocking. With a momentum that could shake the sun and the moon, it directly crushed in front of Xiao Han in less than a breath's time. Bang, 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 bang. Wherever the giant dragon passed by, the ground was shattered. Stone chips and dust were raised into the sky, forming a tornado that swept towards Xiao Han. This time, Xiao Han did not even have time to think before he was sent flying by the strength qi giant dragon. Immediately after, he was wrapped up by the stone tornado, and his entire body flew back 100 steps before smashing into the ground, creating a deep pit. As he fell into it, the stone and sand tornado scattered down, completely burying Xiaohan alive. Everything returned to peace. Ah! How dare such a lowly person be arrogant in front of me? Ah! Fang Ling, I said that I would seal my true qi to fight with him. This is what you agreed to. Now that I've turned him into dust, you can't blame me. Ah! Murong Xiao roared towards the sky. And? Fang Ling nodded slightly, a hint of disappointment flashed across his eyes. I knew it. One hit kill, no suspense at all. Qin Yang and Shi Mietian looked at each other and smiled. Xiaohan. Ah Chou and Xiao Yunrong cried out in pain. The next moment, boom. Just as Xiaohan fell into the deep pit, the sand and stones that filled the pit suddenly shot up into the sky. A figure crawled out from the deep pit. His head and face were covered with sand and stones. His clothes were tattered and he was vomiting blood. However, there was a tenacious life force brewing in his eyes. It was Xiaohan. Just now, Xiaohan was caught off guard and was hit by the giant dragon. He felt that the power of this attack was between 300 to 400 cauldrons. Anyone who was hit by it would definitely die. However, Xiaohan's indestructible golden body was frantically flushing through his body and forcefully withstood this attack for Xiaohan. Although Xiaohan was severely injured, it wasn't fatal. Of course, if Xiaohan didn't cultivate the next 10 moves of the indestructible golden body, his flesh and bones would have been turned into dust by now. Oh. Fang Ling was stunned when he saw Xiaohan forcefully withstood the attack and didn't die from being torn into pieces. Instead, he crawled out from the deep pit. He didn't die even after that? What kind of monster is this kid? Shi Mietian blurted out. Famous? This kid has become famous. Murong Zhao's gray flood dragon True Qi, even if it is purely activated with his physical strength, has a mighty force of over 300 cauldrons. If a physical body realm martial artist were to be hit by this attack, his body would definitely explode and not even his bones would be left. This kid actually didn't die. He's completely famous now. Qin Yang licked his lips. He also felt that it was inconceivable. Motherf asterisk cur. Xiaohan vomited a mouthful of blood and cursed. Buzz. In the next moment, the storage ring on Xiaohan's right hand flashed and a saber appeared in Xiaohan's hand. In an instant, the violent saber qi was like a peerless ferocious dragon. It soared up from Xiaohan's body and a mysterious power that could slash through the void gushed out. I'm going to kill you. Xiaohan scolded harshly. His battle intent was violent and his saber qi was like a tidal wave. Interesting, very interesting. Fang Ling looked at Xiaohan with a profound gaze and a smile blossomed on his face once again. P.S. Stayed up till 3 a.m. seeking recommendation tickets. In addition, I recommend Big Brother Third Pig's Xuanhuan masterpiece. Big Brother Third Pig's previous Xuanhuan masterpiece was an exquisite work with 10,000 pages. This time, it will definitely be a hot-blooded and exciting work that cannot be missed. Chapter 76. After enduring Murong Zhao's violent attack, Xiaohan's bravery was ignited and even his confidence was born. Boom. The Emperor's aura was born. An Emperor's shadow sat on top of Xiaohan's head, suppressing the heavens and looking down on all living beings. Buzz. Xiaohan's saber aura was compatible with the Emperor's aura, producing an overlaid aura that could shake the heavens and the earth and devour the mountains and rivers. After suffering such a heavy blow, Xiaohan's aura not only did not weaken, but it was also increasing. Vigorous blood qi. Fang Ling looked at Xiaohan thoughtfully. There was undisguised admiration in his eyes. Shi Mietian and Qin Yang looked at each other. On the other side, Ah Chou and Xiao Yunrong who were watching the battle nervously felt their heartstrings tightened and almost suffocated. Xiao Yunrong mumbled to herself, he can't, can he really defeat that true Qi realm expert who sealed his acupoints, right? If he really did defeat him, then he would be unparalleled in the physical body realm in Beacon Fire Empire. Xiao Yunrong's beautiful eyes flashed with a trace of strange light. And at this moment, Murong Xiao, after a short moment of shock, Murong Xiao quickly adjusted his state and displayed the experience of a demon hero who had been through hundreds of battles, as well as his steady mental fortitude. And he does have some capital to be arrogant, but it's not enough. Murong Xiao's aura also rose from the ground, towering like a mountain, and his eyes were like a hawk. In the next moment, the energy in his hand twisted and formed a giant bow. A fierce dragon condensed into an arrow and pulled the bow to its fullest. The surrounding energy blew in all directions, flipping over many houses. Gray dragon sky splitting arrow. The fierce flood dragon arrow left the bowstring with a force that could topple mountains and overturn seas. Like a tornado, it swept towards Xiao Han, as if it could devour everything. The sky was torn apart. The violent wind blew the people in the city into the air, sending them flying everywhere and smashing the walls. Xiao Han's body was as still as a mountain. In the blink of an eye, Xiao Han held his saber with both hands, and the saber in his hand turned into a shadow. Swish, 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 swish. The saber light swept out like a hurricane. His speed was not slow at all. The peerless sharpness cut through the air as if it was water. As of now, Xiao Han's cultivation had reached the pinnacle of the marrow refinement realm, and the strength of his flesh shell had reached 170 cauldrons. In a breath's time he could deliver 230 slashes, which was faster than the speed of sound. The strength of each saber chi reached a terrifying 120 cauldron, sweeping through everything in its path. Boom, 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 boom. Endless saber lights filled the sky as the Son of Heaven's aura blasted out. The sound of wind and thunder was endless. Your saber technique is not bad, but you still have to die. Heaven-splitting dragon arrow. At this point in time, Murong Xiao no longer dared to underestimate Xiao Han. He continuously drew his bow, and the fierce flood dragon arrows shot out like a torrential downpour. The entire space was filled with a rain of arrows and saber lights. The battle between the two was too intense. Bang, 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 bang. All of a sudden, all the saber lights that Xiao Han had slashed out exploded. Traces of broken jade spread out like a spider web, and the endless blade light turned into a fine blade rain, blooming like fireworks in the night sky. It was gorgeous and glorious, and it was a spectacular sight. It was fascinating. 7-fragment saber technique, first form. Broken jade form. Puchi, the fierce flood dragon arrows that filled the sky were shattered by the endless beautiful blade rain. Violent chi overflowed in all directions. I've said it before, if I seal your chi, you're just a piece of trash. Xiao Han's face was overbearing, and the more he fought, the more courageous he became. Suddenly the Son of Heaven's aura rose, and a true dragon appeared above his head, a peerless shadow of an emperor. The next moment, boom! The air crept like the branches of a river, spreading to the left and right. Xiao Han forcefully crushed the air, and mightily rushed towards Murong Xiao. It shook the sun and moon, and had the aura of thousands of soldiers on the battlefield. Son of Heaven's divine fist, third form. Personal conquest. The distance between Xiao Han and Murong Xiao was completely ignored. In a breath's time, Xiao Han had already arrived in front of Murong Xiao. Emperor's robe. King's descent. Lose. In a breath's time, Xiao Han continuously activated the first two forms of Son of Heaven's divine fist. Violent chi looking down on the world, a bright yellow emperor's robe appeared on his body, and on his head was the crown of 5 emperors. One punch to suppress. One punch to subdue the world. Xiao Han's aura rose immeasurably as if he was possessed by a god, overbearing. Murong Xiao's aura, on the other hand, was actually losing ground. Under the Son of Heaven's aura, although his aura was not like those martial artists in the physical body realm, it was still withering at a speed visible to the naked eye. Good lad. Murong Xiao was shocked and angry at the same time. He raised his right fist and his muscles bulged. A fierce dragon coiled around his right arm, and brazenly punched towards Xiao Han. Bang! The two of them clashed head-on. A loud sound was heard. It was as if a mountain had collapsed. Then the two of them retreated at the same time. Everywhere they passed, the ground cracked and exploded. When the two of them stopped, Murong Xiao's right hand was twitching uncontrollably, and blood was flowing from the corner of his mouth. His breathing was rapid, and his eyes were frighteningly ferocious. Unbelievable. Murong Xiao was actually injured in the exchange of blows just now. Moreover, his right arm was hanging down, and it seemed like he would not be able to lift it any time soon. Xiao Han was also shaken quite badly. His face was covered in blood, but his eyes were filled with excitement and fighting spirit. The heat from the indestructible golden body washed through Xiao Han's body like a mountain torrent, dispelling the pain bit by bit. I really didn't expect the 3 moves of the Son of Heaven's divine fist to have such a great momentum. It's like a rising wind and scudding clouds, unrestrained and unrestrained. It's able to fight against a martial artist in the physical chi realm who has his true chi sealed. Xiao Han's fighting spirit became stronger and stronger as he fought. His spirit became more and more clear, and the potential within his body was greatly stimulated. This caused Xiao Han's spirit to be clear, and he felt as if his soul had left his body. Again? Before Murong Xiao could catch his breath, Xiao Han charged over like a magnificent army. The imperial chariot was executed. The air gave way and a path of killing was violently crushed out. The stones on the ground were sent flying in all directions. Now Murong Xiao was in a difficult situation. One had to know that many of the powerful skills he cultivated required true qi to be executed. However, after his true qi was sealed, these profound skills were completely useless. He could only rely on his flesh to fight Xiao Han. Xiao Han was obviously a monster. It was as if he had raised an ancient beast in his body, causing his divine bravery to last for a long time. Moreover, he was like an indestructible Iron Man, extremely difficult to deal with. Murong Xiao did not dare to be careless. The true qi in his body rushed out and turned into a giant dragon. It was 10 meters long and it pounced towards Xiao Han, trying to slow down the speed of Xiao Han's trampling. At this moment, a ripple suddenly appeared in the air. With an extremely fast speed, it condensed into the shape of a saber and slashed out violently. The saber qi was peerless, dangerous and merciless. It could cut through everything. It was the saber intent. This wisp of saber intent, with the speed of sound, ignored the resistance of the air, and slashed the middle of the giant dragon's head. In the next moment, Puqi, the true qi giant dragon was actually split into two by the saber intent. The cut was smooth, and the two halves that were cut were exactly the same size. Before the true qi giant dragon could merge again, Xiao Han had already rushed in front of Murong Xiao. This time, Xiao Han had seized the opportunity when Murong Xiao had just used up his previous strength and had not yet recovered. This was a golden opportunity to defeat Murong Xiao. Emperor's robe. King's descent. All at once. Bang! This punch landed directly on Murong Xiao's chest. Pooh! Murong Xiao spat out a mouthful of blood, and his body retreated again. I'll take your life while you're down. Xiao Han grasped the opportunity and pressed forward step by step, throwing out one punch after another. In a breath's time, Murong Xiao's body received an unknown number of punches, and he could not stop himself from retreating. Xiao Han was beating him up like a meat bag. Violent beating. In the next moment, King. Xiao Han actually raised his saber and slashed wildly. Every slash landed on Murong Xiao's body, and sparks flew everywhere. One after another, the saber qi entered Murong Xiao's body. Roar! Ah! Ah! Murong Xiao let out a heart-wrenching howl. However, Murong Xiao's flesh shell was many times stronger than a physical body realm martial artist. Xiao Han only managed to slash a dozen times before his saber broke. Xiao Han's eyes were bloodshot. He threw the broken saber away and grabbed Murong Xiao with both hands. Die for this, daddy. He threw with all his might. Bang! Murong Xiao was like a sandbag as he was thrown into a stone house by the side of the street. The walls of the house cracked and shattered. Die. Following that, Xiao Han grabbed a few huge rocks that were sent flying by the giant bear earlier and threw them towards the stone house. The huge rocks were like catapults, completely destroying the stone house, turning it into a small pile of ruins. Smoke and dust filled the air. Murong Xiao was buried in the rubble. Enough! Fong Ling shouted. Xiao Han, that's enough. His eyes were filled with disbelief. Shimietian and Qin Yang were completely dumbfounded. Acho and Xiao Yunrong looked at Xiao Han as if they were possessed. Who? At this moment, Xiao Han finally stopped. He bent over and panted heavily. He was completely exhausted. PFFF. In the ruins of the stone house, a stream of true qi soared into the sky. Divine light surged and magnificent. Murong Xiao slowly walked out from the ruins. Under the moonlight, his face was swollen like a pig. His clothes were torn and tattered. He no longer looked like a human. True qi surged continuously, healing his injuries and calming the swelling. His eyes were filled with indescribable anger, resentment, hatred, murderous intent, hatred, unwillingness, and suddenly Fong Ling's aura became sharp as if it could pierce through everything. Murong Xiao's expression changed drastically. He raised his head and looked at Fong Ling. Fong Ling, I didn't use my true qi. Are you going to go back on your words and kill me? Fong Ling's sword qi soared from the top of his head and condensed into beautiful lotus flowers. He looked at Murong Xiao with a thoughtful expression and his murderous intent vanished. His entire being gave off the feeling that he was the master of life and death. Fong Ling, you have always been a man of your words. You want to kill us? Qin Yang and Shimietian's expressions were tense and they trembled in fear. Fong Ling used his aura to lock on these three true qi realm martial artists, causing them to not dare to move. Immediately after, Fong Ling began to walk in the air. Every step he took was at the gap between their heartbeats. It was extremely strange. It was quiet everywhere. Only the sound of Fang Ling's footsteps could be heard. After a short while, Fang Ling murmured, "Forget it. Xiaohan, I'll leave you some trouble in the process of growing." After speaking, Fang Ling's murderous intent dissipated. Scram. The three of them felt relieved. Murong Xiao looked at Xiaohan deeply, as if he had imprinted Xiaohan in his mind. However, he didn't dare to say anything else. He turned into a stream of light and left Scorching Flame City with Shimietian and Qin Yang. Hugh, at this moment Xiaohan's mind relaxed. His tense mind suddenly became exhausted. He fell to the ground and breathed heavily. "Xiaohan, are you all right?" Acho and Xiao Yunrong rushed over at the same time. Acho supported Xiaohan. "I'm fine. I'll be fine after resting for a while." Xiaohan smiled relaxedly. Scorching Flame City doesn't have to suffer the misfortune of being massacred. Xiao Yunrong said softly. "Xiaohan, I didn't know you were so powerful. It seems that during the clan meeting, you intentionally held back when we fought. Otherwise, I would have been defeated by you long ago. Xiaohan, your blade technique and fist technique are very profound. They have an ancient aura and are peerless divine techniques. Even if you reach the true Qi realm, you can continue to use these techniques. You don't have to worry about techniques." Fang Ling had already descended from the sky. The lingering sword Qi in the sky dissipated. At this moment, Fang Ling's aura was very simple and reserved. He was even like an ordinary person who didn't know martial arts. However, deep in his eyes, there would occasionally be a peerless sharpness shining. "Senior brother Fang." Xiaohan struggled to get up from the ground. He bowed. Acho and Xiao Yunrong also bowed uneasily. "In this city, how many people were killed by Beishan Demon Emperor?" Fang Ling asked Xiao Yunrong. "Hero Fang, hundreds of people were killed in the past 2 days. However, the demon-revealing mirror in the city is useless." "I couldn't find any clues," Xiao Yunrong hurriedly replied. "My true Qi also couldn't read the demonic Qi of Beishan Demon Emperor. He is indeed very cunning and difficult to deal with. Maybe he's not in this city, but somewhere outside the city, waiting for an opportunity to enter the city to hunt." Fang Ling slightly narrowed his eyes as if he was thinking. "But, Hero Fang, since the Scorching Flame City was attacked by the demon race last night, the entire city has been on high alert. All the major city gates are heavily guarded. If the demon race hides outside the city and enters the city to hunt, it will inevitably be discovered by the soldiers guarding the city. It might disguise itself as a human and sneak into the city. Or, it might have some demonic technique like invisibility to deceive everyone," Xiao Yunrong said softly. "Beishan Demon Emperor has been chased for hundreds of thousands of miles. He doesn't have much demonic power left. It's impossible for him to use any profound demonic technique. Moreover, he can only hide his demonic Qi for a short period of time every day, so that he won't be discovered by the demon-revealing mirror in the city. He must disguise himself as a human and sneak into the city." After eating his fill, he quickly escaped. Beishan Demon Emperor must be somewhere outside the city. Fang Ling's eyes revealed a look of deep thought. "Forget it. I'll personally go out of the city to find the whereabouts of Beishan Demon Emperor and kill him," Fang Ling said as he walked out of the city. Suddenly he stopped in his tracks, turned around and said, "Xiaohan, come with me. I've said that I'll give you a great opportunity. Come with me." Xiaohan's body shook. He hurriedly took a few steps forward and followed Fang Ling. "Senior brother Acho, you should return to the Cloud Rain sect first. I'll go with senior brother Fang. There's still a month before the outer sect ranking competition. I'll definitely rush back." At this moment, old Master Xiao dilly-dallying ran up from behind and mustered up his courage. This true Qi realm mighty figure. The corpses of the people who were killed in the Scorching Flame City are stored in the graveyard outside the city. We haven't burned the corpses yet because we want mighty figures to find some clues from the corpses. True Qi realm mighty figure, you can go to the graveyard outside the city and take a look at the corpses. Perhaps you might find some clues." "What? Corpses?" Xiaohan blurted out as his eyes lit up. "Senior brother Fang, could it be that the Demon Emperor hides among the corpses of the victims every time it kills someone and is carried out of the city?" When Xiaohan was searching for clues, there were a few times when he did not see the corpses of the victims. By the time he arrived at the scene, the corpses had already been carried away. Chapter 77. In the dark, Fang Ling's body emitted rays of light that looked like pearls and jewels. It was hazy and dazzling, illuminating the path ahead. "Senior brother Fang, is this true Qi?" Xiaohan mustered up his courage and asked. It's so beautiful, Xiaohan, you should have a lot of things to ask me. But first, let's go after the North Mystic Demon Emperor. Fang Ling smiled faintly. Facing Xiaohan this time he was more humble. He hid his sharpness and sharpness. The North Mystic Monster Monarch was besieged by the chivalrous swordsman in the North region. He was injured and had to escape. He was hunted down and ended up in this city. His demonic energy is almost depleted and he needs to devour humans to heal his wounds. Senior brother Fang, I heard that the Demon Emperor is a terrifying existence. Only a high-level true Qi realm cultivator can kill him, Xiaohan said softly. A demonic sovereign at its peak would be able to swallow the millions of living beings in this scorching flame city in one gulp, leaving nothing behind. Fang Ling smiled faintly. What? Devour an entire city in one gulp? Xiaohan was completely shocked. Even his thoughts were momentarily confused. Xiaohan, you are only at the mortal body realm. You are very short-sighted. This world is huge and boundless. You can't even explore 1/100th of it in your entire life. When your cultivation is higher, you will naturally understand. Senior brother Fang looked at Xiaohan. His bright eyes flashed with undisguised admiration. Xiaohan, you must have had a fortuitous encounter as well. When you fought with Murong Xiao, who had his true acupoint sealed, you suffered heavy injuries. However, your body was full of vitality, and your injuries healed at an astonishing speed. You are like a primordial beast. But don't worry, I won't ask you. Every famous martial artist has their own fortuitous encounters, as well as secrets related to life and death. Ha! Xiaohan laughed dryly. He thought that if senior brother Fang knew that the strange thing in his heart was related to the demon race, he would probably kill him. Xiaohan's secret could not be revealed. He could not let anyone know about the demon monarch's palm tattoo on his left arm. He had to be careful with every step he took. The slightest hint of giving himself away would put his life in danger. Right at this moment, the sound of hoofbeats could be heard from behind. Dozens of soldiers in the city with torches in their hands caught up. Sirs, please wait. After the soldiers caught up, they dismounted from their horses and bowed respectfully. Sirs, are you going to the cemetery outside the city? Lead the way, Fang Ling said indifferently. Yes, yes, a group of officers and soldiers said submissively. Leading the horse, holding the torch, he led the way. A few miles away from the city, there was indeed a desolate graveyard. The full moon hung high in the night sky. The moonlight, like that of an abandoned wife, shone miserably on the cold stone tablet. The bleak night wind was accompanied by the intermittent sound of the eru played by the tombkeeper, singing the ancient requiem, mourning for the dead who were sleeping here. The air smelled of spirits. Seeing the large group of people rushing over, the dozen or so tombkeepers stood up one after another. Sirs, this way please. A military leader hurriedly led Xiaohan and Fang Ling towards the tombkeeper. Suddenly, Xiaohan keenly sensed that the strange thing that was hibernating in his heart was slowly turning. The demon god's palm tattoo on his left arm was also throbbing. Finally, the strange thing that was hibernating in his heart and the demon god's palm tattoo on his left arm were warning. They had discovered the existence of the demon race. They were hiding in this graveyard. Senior brother Fang. Xiaohan blurted out. All right, I got it. Fang Ling waved his hand, a smile flashing across his lips. His eyes were burning with excitement. A group of soldiers led the way and the two of them walked over. On the other side, on a lawn, dozens of tombkeepers were guarding the corpses on the ground. There were a total of 5 rows of corpses that had not been buried. They were neatly lined up and there were hundreds of them. They were wrapped in straw mats. There was a big hole in the head of each corpse, and their brains had long been sucked dry. The corpses' faces were as white as paper, and their expressions were hideous and twisted like ghosts. All of you stand down, senior brother Fang glanced at the corpses on the ground and said indifferently. His pupils gradually contracted, burning with excitement and a bit of graveness. Clang! The long sword on senior brother Fang's back was unsheathed. It jumped into senior brother Fang's hand as if it had a mind of its own. His hand holding the sword was very steady. As steady as a rock. This was an ordinary cyan steel sword, but in senior brother Fang's hand, it shone with a peerless sharpness. Wisps of divine light and true qi were entwined around it, and it could kill gods and ghosts. Stand down, stand down. The soldiers and tombkeepers were frightened by the sword qi. They felt as if there was a thorn in their backs, and they retreated in all directions like the tide. Xiaohan could not help but take a small step back. The demon god's palm tattoo on his left arm was trembling more and more violently, revealing a bloodthirsty and greedy intent. Damn it, behave yourself. Are you going to suck the demon race's blood essence in front of senior brother Fang? Do you want to die? Xiao Han's heart was in his throat, and he controlled the demon god's palm tattoo on his left arm to take another step back. The demon god's palm tattoo on Xiao Han's left arm had dried up countless demon veins and talisman symbols. It needed to be nourished by sucking the demon race's blood essence to awaken. The demon in front of him was a demon king that could pluck the stars and the moon. If he could suck the demon king's blood essence, it would become the most delicious nourishment for the demon god's palm tattoo. However, Xiao Han did not dare to do so. He had to control himself or else he would expose his secret. Even if he did not die here tonight, he would be hunted down by the demons in the future. Alright, Bei Shen Monster King, stop playing tricks on me. Show yourself. Fang Ling's tone was still as calm as water, but his aura kept increasing. A glazed sword chi shot out from the top of his head, blossoming into a peerless sword lotus. The night sky was set off by the peerless sword lotus, making it look even more enchanting. No wonder you're ranked on the demon hero ranking. I had concealed my demonic chi and disguised myself as a corpse without leaving any traces, but I was still discovered. Impressive. Truly impressive. However, if it wasn't for you damn demon heroes who besieged me and chased me for thousands of miles, severely injuring me, do you think I would be afraid of you? Damn it. A gloomy voice came from a skinny old man's corpse. The next moment, the skinny corpse suddenly stood up. Under the dim moonlight, the side of his deathly still face actually outlined a pitiful and peerlessly fierce expression. Ah! Some of the soldiers and the tomb guards fainted, some lost control of their bowels and some even knelt on the ground. Boom! The strange thing that was dormant in Xiao Han's heart surged like a tide. It was getting faster and faster. Waves of terrifying demonic chi came out from the skinny corpse. Xiao Han took 3 steps back. Such a strong demonic chi. Even with the strange thing in my heart dissolving the demonic chi, I still feel pressured. A demon emperor is indeed a demon emperor. Even if he doesn't have even 1% of his demonic chi left, he's still many times more terrifying than the demon soldiers and generals. Puchi. The skinny corpse suddenly exploded and turned into powder. A huge monster directly rushed up to the sky. Boundless demonic chi began to spread out unscrupulously, covering the sky and earth, extremely evil. The bright moon was covered by the demonic clouds. Xiao Han took another 5 steps back, and he almost fell to the ground. Fortunately, the strange thing that was dormant in his heart was spinning faster and faster, like a motor, madly dissolving the demonic chi, so Xiao Han finally stood up straight. He raised his head to take a look. Under the night sky, he saw a demonic creature floating in the air. It was about 20 feet tall, and its whole body was snow white, showing a kind of demonic and inexplicable noble luster, shining brightly. However, at this moment, its snow-white skin was covered with all kinds of scars, and the wounds had dried up with demonic blood. It actually had a human face. It was a pale and handsome man's face, and his eyes were emerald green, burning with demonic fire. According to a human's age, this face would be about 25 or 26 years old, which was considered young. It also had a pair of meaty wings. What was incongruous with its snow-white skin was that these meaty wings were blood-red in color. They looked sinister and gave off a fishy smell. They were filled with sharp spikes that resembled the teeth of a savage beast. With just a slight flap, the air would shatter. So this is what a demon emperor looks like? Xiao Han mumbled in his heart. However, he didn't dare to be careless, and he took out a single saber from his storage ring. He was ready for battle. Suddenly, swoosh, the demon emperor moved slightly, and an endless number of illusions appeared, causing people to be completely lost, unable to find its real body. There was a mysterious sense of dislocation in space, and it was impossible to tell what was real. The movements are illusory. North Mystic Demon Emperor. Fang Ling stared at the North Mystic Demon Emperor in midair, and wisps of sword chi appeared in his eyes, forming a kingdom of swords. All of a sudden, Xiao Han's body was burning. The North Mystic Demon Emperor in midair stared at Xiao Han with a pair of evil eyes. Oh, a physical body realm martial artist? But it's strange. What are you hiding on your body? I'm going to eat you. I'm going to eat you. The North Mystic Demon Emperor let out a heart-wrenching scream, and with a flash, it was about to pounce on Xiao Han. It actually gave up on Fang Ling and wanted to kill Xiao Han. Boom. Xiao Han was blown away by the hurricane-like demonic aura, and his mind couldn't keep up with the changes in the situation, and he couldn't follow the North Mystic Demon Emperor's movements at all. Xiaohan was like a lone boat in a raging sea, and he could be destroyed at any time. For the first time, Xiaohan felt powerless and a deep sense of despair. At this moment, he couldn't even circulate his saber intent. It felt like he was half a beat too slow. Too powerful. Am I going to die here? In a split second, that was the only thought in Xiaohan's mind. However, at the next moment, clang! A beautiful sword lotus enlarged infinitely in Xiaohan's eyes. This sword lotus was formed by pure sword aura, and it revealed a murderous intent that could destroy ghosts and gods. Damn it! I won't let you go. The cries of the North Xian monster monarch disappeared from the world at a speed faster than the speed of sound. Bang! Xiaohan fell from midair and he raised his eyes in a daze. The North Mystic Demon Emperor had already escaped. Fang Ling stood with his sword, and the demonic blood on the tip of the sword splashed onto the ground. After hesitating for a moment, Xiaohan got up slowly and said anxiously, "Senior brother Fang had escaped?" Now Xiaohan's heart was in a tight knot. Just now, the North Mystic Demon Emperor actually roared and asked what Xiaohan was hiding on his body. It even ignored Fang Ling's deterrence and wanted to eat Xiaohan first. Xiaohan knew what was going on. It must be the strange thing in his heart that attracted the North Mystic Demon Emperor. Now Xiaohan was afraid that Fang Ling would question him. Fortunately, Fang Ling didn't have any intention to ask. He just said indifferently, "The North Mystic Demon Emperor is indeed an evil creature that is famous for its speed, escape, and stealth. Countless monsters have chased it from the North region to the South region. Hundreds of battles have not been able to kill it. Senior brother Fang, isn't this Demon Emperor too powerful? It only has 1% of its demonic power left, but it still managed to escape from your sword. If it was at its peak, wouldn't it be terrifying?" Xiaohan purposely asked to divert Fang Ling's attention. "If the North Mystic Demon Emperor was at its peak, I wouldn't dare to kill it alone. Moreover, I would be killed by it. Forget it. It's on the verge of death now, and it will be killed by other monsters sooner or later." Fang Ling waved his hand. "Xiaohan, come with me now." Yes, senior brother Fang." Xiaohan licked his lips and felt lucky. The strange thing in his heart and the demon Thearka's palm tattoo on his left arm also calmed down. An hour later, on a barren mountain far away from the scorching flame city. In the valley, a bonfire was burning. Xiaohan had caught a few wild rabbits and was roasting them. The grease was dripping and the aroma filled his nose. "Senior brother Fang, are you hungry? Here you go." Xiaohan handed a roasted wild rabbit to Fang Ling. Fang Ling sat cross-legged and said with a faint smile, "Xiaohan, you eat. I'm not hungry." "Oh." Xiaohan also sat cross-legged. He was famished at the moment and did not hold back. He ate the wild rabbit in big bites and his mouth was full of grease. "Xiaohan, what do you think about what happened today?" Fang Ling suddenly asked. "Senior brother Fang, what I think is, everyone under the True Qi realm is an ant. I feel useless. In front of the True Qi realm, I am like an ant that cannot resist. The difference between the True Qi realm and the mortal body realm is like heaven and earth." Xiaohan wiped the grease off the corner of his mouth and said in a slightly dejected tone, "You don't have to be like this. In such a short period of time, you went from a live target to your current cultivation. You are almost invincible in the mortal body realm. You are already a first-class monster." Fang Ling said calmly. "However, if you cannot reach the True Qi realm, no matter how much of a genius you are in the mortal body realm, you are still trash. Sooner or later you will be killed by others just like today. Xiaohan, this world is very big. There are more than 1 trillion people in this world and countless geniuses have been born. However, many of these geniuses either die at the mortal body realm or are unable to reach the True Qi realm for the rest of their lives and end up mediocre. Seriously speaking, if you do not reach the True Qi realm, you are all trash. However, Xiaohan, you have a good foundation. You have a higher chance of reaching the True Qi realm than others." "Then, senior brother Fang, what is the True Qi realm?" Xiaohan hurriedly asked. In the past, he did not have the chance to ask this question. Even the 3 managers were unable to answer it. Now that a True Qi realm expert like senior brother Fang was in front of him, it would be a waste not to ask. The so-called True Qi realm is when a martial artist refines his skin, tendons, bones, organs, marrow, and blood to refine his body to its fullest and strongest state. After that, he begins to polish his spirit. He must polish his spirit until it is transparent and flawless, impervious to all evils and as sharp as a blade, without a single trace of impurity. Then the next step is to open the true acupoints. Using the purest of mental energy, one can sense the true acupoints of the human body and open them to receive true qi into the body. There are 101 true acupoints in the human body. Therefore, opening 1 to 10 true acupoints is the true qi realm level 1. Opening 11 to 20 true acupoints is the true qi realm level 2. Opening 91 to 100 true acupoints is the true qi realm level 10. The last true acupoint is between the eyebrows. It is also known as the immortal acupoint, or immortal eye. Once this acupoint is opened, legend has it that one can become an immortal. However, this true acupoint is the most mysterious. According to what I know, in the entire true martial continent, there is no one who has opened the immortal acupoint. However, I do not know if there are any hidden experts. After all, the true martial continent is too vast, and there are too many crouching tigers and hidden dragons. So this is what the true qi realm is all about. The true qi realm is divided into 10 levels, and the final step is to open the immortal acupoint between the eyebrows. I understand now. Xiao Han understood as he listened. Why is it said that it is impossible for someone at the fleshly body stage to defeat someone at the true qi realm? Fong Ling continued. There is a limit to one's strength. No matter how strong one's fleshly body is, it will still reach a limit. Once this limit is exceeded, one's body will explode. In terms of the fleshly body stage, the strongest fleshly body that I know of is at least 800 ding of strength. This is already considered to be extraordinary talent. As for the true qi realm, even at the first level of the true qi realm, every true acupoint can store at least 1000 ding of strength. As for the higher levels of true qi, their strength is completely beyond the imagination of the fleshly body stage. It is just like how an ant will never understand the strength and methods of an enormous beast. At the first level of the true qi realm, every true acupoint can store at least 1000 ding of strength, and at the pinnacle of the fleshly body stage it is 800 ding. Indeed, the fleshly body stage will never be able to contend against the true qi realm. A true qi realm martial artist can casually open 2 true acupoints, and their strength is several times that of a fleshly body stage martial artist. Xiao Han nodded. Furthermore, once one reaches the true qi realm, one can refine their qi into a beam of light, into a rainbow, and transcend the mortal world. They can cultivate all kinds of divine skills with boundless might, and with a simple gesture they can move mountains and fill the seas, capture dragons and throw elephants, and pluck the stars and moon. They can even fly and float in the air, making them unpredictable. Senior brother Fong explained. That's great. How great would it be if I, Xiao Han, could reach the true qi realm? It would be like ascending to the heavens in a single bound. Xiao Han blurted out. Xiao Han, breaking through to the true qi realm is as difficult as ascending to the heavens. Take the Cloud Rain sect for example. There are countless half-step true qi cultivators, but how many of them ultimately succeed in opening their true acupoints? Don't think that half-step true qi is only half a step away from the true qi realm, but this half a step is like the heavens and the earth. This is the eternal separation between man and heaven. Countless geniuses have stopped at this last half a step. To take this last half a step, would it be like a mortal transforming into an immortal? How difficult would it be for a carp to leap through the dragon's gate? This half a step requires accumulation, foundation, great determination, great fearlessness, great courage, great fortuitous encounters, great opportunities, great luck. Difficult, difficult, difficult. Fong Ling's tone was not exaggerated in the slightest. These words made Xiao Han feel even more pressured. Difficult, it is indeed too difficult. However, no matter how difficult it is, I, Xiao Han, will crush all obstacles and strive for the true qi realm. Otherwise, I will forever be an ant. If I don't reach the true qi realm, I, Xiao Han, would rather die. So what if my body is tempered well? If I encounter a true qi realm expert like today, I will still be crushed into pieces without any chance to resist. Then, senior brother Fong, what is the fiend hero? You seem to be a fiend hero too, right? Xiao Han continued to ask. Xiao Han, you don't need to know too much about the fiend hero for now. This is already beyond your capabilities. I will simply tell you that the fiend hero was born from the strongest human true qi realm experts. They are innately not afraid of the demon race. They are practically born to slay the demon race. In order to become a fiend hero, one must pass through layers of trials and tribulations of life and death. Only then can it be possible. It can be said that every fiend hero is an elite within the true qi realm, a genius gifted by the heavens. The most important thing for you now is to break through to the true qi realm. When you become a martial artist of the true qi realm, you can ask about the fiend hero again. Fong Ling said unhurriedly. Xiaohan, I will give you a choice now. Suddenly, Fong Ling's tone became solemn. Senior brother Fong, what choice? Xiaohan's heart shook. In the next moment, a black elixir appeared in Fong Ling's hand. It was the size of a longan fruit and had a faint ancient aura, as well as an aura of death. 7 days death wishing pill. This is a supreme elixir that I obtained from a secret realm in the western region. It is consumed by martial artists of the physical body realm. Fong Ling looked at Xiaohan. 7 days death wishing pill. Senior brother Fong, this elixir's name is so strange. It is filled with bad luck. It sounds like the name of a poison. Xiaohan licked his lips. This 7 days death wishing pill can also be considered a poison. Fong Ling's eyes became sharp. If a martial artist of the physical body realm consumes this elixir, he will definitely die within 7 days. What? Xiaohan's body trembled. Senior brother Fong, this is a poison. Could it be, you want me to consume it? Xiaohan, consume this 7 days death wishing pill. If you don't want to die, there is only one way. Within 7 days, open the first true acupoint and step into the supreme true qi realm. Fong Ling's words were sonorous. This elixir can be understood as a poison, but it is also a supreme treasure medicine for breaking through to the true qi realm. It is something that can only be found by luck. This is an ancient elixir that has lost the method to refine. After consuming this elixir within 7 days, one's mind will be clear and untainted. One's nerves will be tense at all times and one's life potential will be stimulated to the maximum. It can directly increase the chance of breaking through to the true qi realm by 30%. Heavens! Eternal separation. The extremely difficult true qi realm could now increase the chance of breaking through by 30%. A supreme treasure medicine. It was hard to come by in 10,000 years. However, the only fatal flaw was that if one did not succeed within 7 days, one would die. If one did not break through to the true qi realm, one would die. Suddenly, Fong Ling said sternly. Xiaohan, this 7 days death wishing pill is an ancient relic. The medicinal effects have already begun to dissipate. After a few months, I'm afraid the medicinal effects will disappear completely. Do you dare to take a gamble? Let me tell you, when breaking through to the true qi realm from the physical body realm, the ones who have the most advantage are martial artists who have comprehended saber will or sword will. Saber will and sword will can cut through nothingness, shatter all kinds of negative emotions and polish one's mind. Any physical body realm martial artist who has comprehended sword will or saber will has at least a 20% chance of breaking through to the true qi realm. Xiaohan, you have comprehended saber will. You are 1 in a million among the saber users. Xiaohan, I can see that you have also experienced many life and death situations. The impurities in your mind have been calcined and tempered, allowing you to have a 20% chance of breaking through. In other words, if you consume this 7 days death wishing pill, coupled with your saber will and your current foundation, you have a 70% chance of breaking through to the true qi realm. Do you dare to take the gamble? Consume this 7 days death wishing pill, and bet 70-3. Within 7 days, either you reach the heavens in one step or you die. If you only want to go back and participate in the outer sect ranking competition and win the title of first in the outer sect, then stay at the blood transformation realm, half a step into the true qi realm, unable to cross the chasm for the rest of your life, then you can go back. If you want to reach the heavens in one step and walk out of the Beacon Fire Empire or even the southern region to explore the endless unknown, then you have to take the gamble. I will help you blood transformation and bring you to the western region to train your mind and forcefully break through to the true qi realm. This is an opportunity. It all depends on whether you dare to gamble with your life. P.S. Stayed up till 3 a.m., updated 6,000 words, my brain is dizzy. These 6,000 words were more elaborations and settings. Everyone might find it boring. But these settings had to be drawn out. Yes, Xiaohan was about to face a choice between life and death. May I be so bold as to ask everyone for a like? Chapter 78. This was a huge gamble. Xiaohan was speechless for a moment. His mouth was dry and his heart was pounding like thunder. All the blood in his body rushed to his temples. His face was flushed red. Do you want to bet? Senior brother Fong made it very clear. In the martial Tao, those below the realm of true qi are all trash. No matter how good one's physical body is, it is only building the foundation. Only by stepping into the realm of true qi can one be considered to have taken the first step on the path of martial Tao. My physical body is extremely well trained and I have even comprehended saber intent. However, in front of a true qi expert, I have no ability to resist at all. They can crush me in an instant. This is too useless. This is too frustrating. I Xiaohan have finally transmigrated. I must dominate the world and not live a mediocre life. If I meet a true Qi expert again, he can kill me with a wave of his hand. This 7 days death-wishing pill may be a poison, but it is also a supreme medicine for breaking through to the realm of true Qi. It can only be found by luck. 70% chance. 7-3. I accept. Suddenly, a trace of dominance and sharpness flashed across Xiaohan's eyes as he said resolutely, "Senior brother Fang, I Xiaohan accept the bet." I Xiaohan was originally a live target. Every day I was beaten up by the inner disciples and was in a precarious situation. Luckily I managed to survive. This life is something that I picked up by luck. If I win, it will be a great fortune. Even if I lose, I will just be returning my life to the heavens. Moreover, I have a great chance of winning if I bet 7-3. Senior brother Fang, I Xiaohan am not a soft-hearted person. Cultivating the martial Tao is like crossing a single log bridge. I am very clear of this point. But, Senior brother Fang, please let me consume this 7 days death-wishing pill. Good. Xiaohan, I Fang Ling did not misjudge you. Fang Ling's eyes flashed with admiration. Which of those who have cultivated to our level have not experienced hundreds or even thousands of life and death situations? Which of them have not had the experience of brushing shoulders with the god of death? If you don't dare to gamble with your life, don't cultivate the martial Tao. After a pause, Fang Ling continued. Xiaohan, listen well. Now I'll let you consume this 7-day death-wishing pill. In 2 days' time, the medicinal effect will spread throughout your entire body's blood vessels, muscles, bones, and internal organs. Moreover, it will stimulate your spirit, allowing you to reach an optimal state of high tension at all times without any distractions. And the potential in your life will also reach its peak. 2 days later, we will arrive at the West region. I will take you to participate in a battle where the demon swordsmen surround and kill the demon emperor. At that time, under the pressure of the demon emperor's imposing manner, your spirit and potential will completely burst out. Moreover, you will use your saber intent to cut off the remaining distracting thoughts in your spirit, making your mind clear, flawless, and spiritual. At that time, you will sense the location of the true acupoints and open them in one go, reaching the heavens in a single bound. Go to the western region to participate in the battle where the demon heroes besiege and kill the demon emperor. Xiaohan was stunned. Fang Ling closed his eyes slightly. When he opened them, an unprecedented seriousness and burning battle intent flashed across the depths of his eyes. The demon emperor that we are going to surround and kill today is a demon emperor at its peak. The demonic energy was boundless. Countless demon swordsmen had died under its demon saber. The world-ending demon saber, Demon Emperor Qinglin. Once the demon saber is out, the world will be in chaos. In terms of demonic energy, Demon Emperor Qinglin is stronger than the North Mystic Demon Emperor at its peak. Oh! Xiaohan secretly praised in his heart. However, he was very courageous and did not show much fear. Instead he asked, Senior brother Fang, are we going to the West region now? Yes. The West region is mainly a vast desert and swamp. There are also human kingdoms and demons. Legend has it that in the ancient times, there were many prosperous human kingdoms in the West region. There were countless true Qi realm cultivators in the West region. However, they have all been buried under the rolling yellow sand. However, many human explorers have found ancient relics, treasures, grotto heavens, and even martial arts manuals under the yellow sand. The West region is filled with mysterious aura and martial arts luck. However, it is also extremely dangerous. No one knows how many man-eating demons are hiding under the yellow sand. If a human doesn't reach the true Qi realm and recklessly goes to the West region, they will die for nothing. Fang Ling said confidently. In the next moment, Fang Ling took out a small crystal bottle. The bottle was filled with a viscous amber liquid. It glowed with a dreamy luster. Moreover, a strong ancient aura seeped out of the bottle, causing Xiaohan to shiver. This is a bottle of precious blood from the ancient beast Bayan. There are also 81 types of spirit herbs and elixirs in it. It is a sacred item used by mortal body state martial artists to exchange blood. Xiaohan, drink this bottle of sacred medicine and let it fuse into your blood. Fang Ling handed the 7-day death-wishing pill and the bottle of precious blood medicine to Xiaohan. Xiaohan took it and was about to consume it. At this moment, Fang Ling's body emitted a tidal wave of divine light and treasure light, instantly covering an area of 10 acres. Endless divine light and treasure light twisted in the air. There was a muffled roar as if some peerless creature was about to be born. Ugh! Xiaohan was dumbfounded. Xiaohan, hurry up and take the medicine, Fang Ling urged. Oh, okay, senior brother Fang. Xiaohan calmed himself down and pulled out the cork of the bottle of precious blood medicine. He raised his head and drank all the medicine in the bottle, not spilling a single drop. Suddenly Xiaohan's body was boiling hot, as if there was a ball of fire burning in his blood vessels. Xiaohan had read books before. He knew that blood changing and marrow refining had similar effects. Once the precious blood medicine entered the mouth, it seeped into the blood of the body and solidified. Only when the medicine had fully dissolved into the blood would the blood change be completed. The impurities in the blood would be removed, and the marrow would be cleansed and reborn. The new blood would be flawless and would emit a warm luster like that of a precious jade. It was no small matter. Similar to marrow refining, the speed of blood changing depended on the martial artist's own bloodline and bone structure, as well as the refinement after birth. I've also started blood changing. The last step to the true energy realm. Xiaohan threw the empty bottle away and stuffed the 7-day death-wishing pill that emitted a strong aura of death into his mouth. The pill melted in his mouth. The medicinal power spread throughout his body. Gradually, Xiaohan felt the nerves in his body tense up, as if he was facing a great enemy. His 5 senses became sharper and his eyes lit up. Everything in the night became clearer. It was like watching a fire. Xiaohan knew that his potential was slowly being stimulated. His mind was also becoming clearer. But there was a premonition of death in his heart. It was very gloomy and scary. I have no way out now. Xiaohan secretly wiped the sweat off his forehead. I've already swallowed the medicine, and the medicinal power has already dispersed in my body. I can't spit it out. I only have 7 days. If I don't reach the true energy realm in 7 days, I will die. Completely disappear from this world. Beads of sweat began to appear on Xiaohan's forehead. At this moment, roar. In the sky there was a thunderous roar of a tiger. This sound had the majesty of the king of beasts, almost invincible. Xiaohan looked up. In the sky there was a huge beast that looked like a ferocious tiger. It was about 10 feet tall and 30 feet long, and its fur was colorful. Its aura was domineering and savage, as if it could devour mountains and rivers. Moreover, every strand of tiger fur was emitting sword chi, and every strand of tiger fur was like a peerless sword. This ferocious tiger also had a pair of golden wings, with a wingspan of 40 feet. This. Xiaohan looked at the ferocious tiger, and then at senior brother Fang, his eyes wide open. Xiaohan, this is my natal sword chi. True energy has evolved into the flying sword tiger. It can travel 200,000 miles in a day, and it can ensure that we can cross the southern region and reach the border of the western region in 2 days. Let's go. We'll travel through the night. Fang Ling waved his hand, and with Xiaohan in tow, they landed lightly on the back of the ferocious tiger. Fang Ling stood on the tiger's head, his hands behind his back and his clothes fluttered. Xiaohan stood on the tiger's back. This flying sword tiger was huge like a small mountain. Xiaohan stood on the tiger's back and it was very spacious. He walked around, his heart filled with curiosity. Senior brother Fang Ling, this huge beast is formed from your true energy? It's amazing. It's too magical. Oh right, the 3 true energy realm cultivators who threatened to massacre the city, one of them turned his true energy into a flood dragon, and the other turned into a bear. It's the same as senior brother Fang's tiger transformation. Xiaohan sighed. However, senior brother Fang's ferocious tiger is much more powerful. Xiaohan could not help but squat down, grabbed a handful of tiger fur and studied it. The tiger fur was very soft and warm, just like the fur of a real ferocious tiger. However, every strand of tiger fur had a faint sword chi flowing, as if it could cut someone if they were not careful. Alright Xiaohan, let's go. You don't have much time left. The earlier we get to the western region, the more chances you have. 7 days will pass in a flash and we can't waste a single second. Fang Ling ordered. Xiaohan, sit on the tiger's back, digest the medicine and prepare your spirit. Try to make your spirit and the potential of your body reach the peak. Yes. Xiaohan also knew that life and death were hanging by a thread, so he immediately sat cross-legged and looked down, like an old monk in meditation. Fang Ling watched Xiaohan work hard and quickly enter a profound state of enlightenment. He nodded, and a faint look of admiration appeared in his eyes. Then, roar. The flying sword tiger roared and turned into a golden stream of light, shooting towards the west like an arrow piercing through the clouds. It was as fast as a meteor. The first ray of light broke through the clouds. The curtain fell on the night. A new day had begun. At this moment, Xiao Han opened his eyes and saw the surrounding clouds passing behind him. Fang Ling still stood proudly on the tiger's head with his hands behind his back. The divine true qi emitted from his body dispersed the heavenly wind, allowing Xiao Han to sit comfortably on the tiger's back, unaffected by the heavenly wind and airflow. Xiao Han extended his head and looked down. Through the gaps between the dense layers of clouds and the rays of light, he could see the amber-like lakes and the jade-like mountain ranges. As for the cities, because they were too high up, he could no longer see them. "Senior brother Fang, have we not left the southern region yet?" Xiao Han asked loudly. "We still have to fly for 2 days and 1 night. Fang Ling did not turn back. "Oh." As time ticked by, Xiao Han could feel that death was drawing closer and closer. The medicinal power of the 7-day death-wishing pill had fully melted in Xiao Han's body, and the gloomy and despairing aura of death had seeped into his body. "I still have 6 days left." Xiao Han licked his lips. At this moment, boom! Not far away, a violent tornado swept towards them. This tornado was more than 100 feet long and a few feet wide. It was black in color, and like a millstone, it crushed the clouds, the heavenly wind, and the air, giving off a feeling that it could devour everything. "Senior brother Fang." Xiao Han was shocked and immediately stood up from the tiger's back. Fang Ling waved his hand slightly, indicating for Xiao Han not to panic. In the blink of an eye, voila! The millstone-like black tornado actually tore a gap in the middle, as if a curtain was being pulled open. In the next moment, a middle-aged man with an unshaven beard, wearing a coarse short shirt and messy hair, rubbed his sleepy eyes, poked his head out from the gap, yawned and glanced at senior brother Fang and said lazily, "Fang Ling, you're quite fast. I say, why do you always stand on the tiger's head? Aren't you tired? Aren't you sleepy? Sleep, sleep, continue to sleep." After saying that, his head shrank back into the tornado. But soon he poked his head out again, glanced at Xiao Han and blinked his eyes at Fang Ling. His expression suddenly became very wretched. "Fang Ling, is this kid the illegitimate child of you and an Anfei? He's quite handsome. He's already grown up, and not bad, not bad." Hearing this, Fang Ling couldn't help but laugh. "Brother Feng, you can eat whatever you want, but you can't say whatever you want. I can't stand a woman like an Anfei." "Oh? You can't stand her? Then why are you still with her?" Forget it, I won't talk about it anymore, I'm going to sleep again." The middle-aged man turned back into the tornado. The gap in the middle of the tornado closed again with a walla sound, and there was no gap at all. Woo woo woo, the tornado roared sharply, grinding the air and pushed forward forcefully. "Oh, senior brother Fang, this person is? Isn't it too magical? He's actually sleeping at a height of 10,000 meters. And he's sleeping in a ball of tornado, this is?" Xiao Han said with a dry mouth. "This person is also a demon hero?" Fang Ling nodded slightly, and just as he was about to speak, suddenly, a resentful female voice floated along with the wind. "Big brother Fang Ling, why are you saying bad things about me behind my back? You heartless person." This voice was soft and numb, enchanting and captivating, causing one's whole body to go limp. He couldn't help but want to hug the woman who made this voice into his arms, and love her tenderly. Xiao Han turned around. He saw a graceful woman sitting on a rose-red cloud behind him. She seemed to be naked, and her ivory jade body was unrestrainedly exposed. However, on top of the rose-red cloud, there was a misty light smoke rising, making her faintly discernible. However, this kind of seemingly visible yet unreal state was even more captivating. At this moment, her back was facing Xiao Han, and her soft and beautiful pink back could be vaguely seen. That tender skin seemed to be able to be wrung out of it. She was holding a fragrant handkerchief, dipping it into water from a wooden bucket, and seemed to be bathing and wiping her body. A faint fragrance drifted over, lingering around Xiao Han's nose. A kind of restlessness welled up in Xiao Han's heart. Suddenly the woman turned her head. A pair of beautiful eyes that were full of magic, emitted a charming light, and deeply entered Xiao Han's pupils. Suddenly Xiao Han's vision darkened. When Xiao Han opened his eyes, he found himself in a quiet valley, where birds were singing and flowers were fragrant. In the depths of the valley, there was a gurgling stream, and the faint sound of a woman singing could be heard. Xiao Han couldn't help but take a few steps forward, wanting to see what was going on. Not long after, Xiao Han saw, in the depths of the valley, in a shallow pool surrounded by trees, an extremely beautiful woman was bathing, and happily singing an innocent nursery rhyme. On the rock beside the pool, there were clothes and an extremely sexy and provocative undergarment. Xiaohan's nose became hot and his heart itched. He slowed down his steps but still approached step by step, wanting to see clearly. At this moment, swish. The sword light flashed. Xiaohan's consciousness seemed to be shattered by this sword light. Xiaohan shook his head, and when he opened his eyes again he saw that he had already walked to the edge of the tiger's back, and was about to fall from 10,000 meters in the sky, and his body would be smashed into pieces. Ha ha ha, the woman giggled looking at Xiaohan. Little brother Tiki, you still have the body of a virgin. Come, let me hug you. She was about 25 or 26 years old, and her face was like a peach blossom, breathtakingly beautiful, but her eyes were as charming as a fox's eyes, as if they wanted to pull people into an abyss. What? I actually had an illusion just now? I thought that I had entered a quiet valley and I almost lost my footing and fell. So dangerous, so dangerous. Xiaohan was terrified. Xiaohan, don't look at her eyes. Fong Ling said seriously. Yes, senior brother Fong. Xiaohan quickly turned his back to the woman, walked a few steps back, came to the middle of the tiger's back, and sat down cross-legged, with sweat dripping down his forehead. Xiaohan, this woman is an Anfei, born with a natural charm, a peerless beauty. However, you must not provoke her. She is proficient in the joyful great true qi, and is an expert in the art of plucking men and women. She is very powerful. Fong Ling warned. Yes, senior brother Fong, this woman is strange, I don't dare to provoke her. Xiaohan was secretly surprised. Immoral. A muffled groan came from behind. Immediately after, a middle-aged burly man wearing a black robe rode a golden lightning and broke through the air. His aura was very powerful, and his eyes were shining with golden light. There were electric arcs constantly shooting out from his eyes, making him look like a thunder god. The golden lightning flashed, and in an instant, it was far away. Senior brother Fong, these are all evil heroes? Xiaohan had never seen so many strange, mysterious and powerful people and blurted out. Yes, they are the same as me, going to the western region to encircle the troops of the demon emperor Qing Lin. Fong Ling smiled slightly. Senior brother Fong, the world of your evil heroes is really interesting. Xiaohan licked his lips, and as he spoke, there was a sense of leisurely fascination. Chapter 79. Immediately Xiaohan activated his saber intent and cut off all distracting thoughts in his mind. He focused and nurtured the medicinal power of the 7 days death-wishing pill in his body. Soon he forgot about everything else. When Xiaohan opened his eyes again, it was already night time. In the sky, gems were embedded all over the place. Those were all unknown stars. They were magnificent and otherworldly. At this moment, Xiaohan was riding the flying sword tiger and flying 10,000 meters in the sky. Therefore, he felt that the stars were within reach, as if he could reach them with just a stretch of his hand. It was very magical. Gulp! The awkward sound coming from his stomach completely shattered this poetic and picturesque atmosphere. Xiaohan smiled and took out a roasted rabbit from his storage ring. He shouted at Fong Ling, who was standing on the tiger's head. Senior brother Fong, do you want to eat something? This time Fong Ling was grateful. He turned around and walked over to sit opposite Xiaohan. His body emitted divine light and treasure light, and he had the temperament of an immortal. Xiaohan took out another roasted rabbit from his storage ring and passed it to Fong Ling. Fong Ling took the roasted rabbit and his body lit up with a 5-pointed star shape. Then 2 bottles of fine wine appeared in his hands. He threw 1 bottle to Xiaohan. Drink some wine. Xiaohan caught the wine bottle and looked at Fong Ling in a daze. Fong Ling explained, after reaching the true Qi realm, there is no need to use external objects to store items. The true acupoints in your body can store endless items. Xiaohan, in fact, every true acupoint is a huge space. How magical. Xiaohan sighed in admiration again. The two drank and ate the roasted rabbit. Xiaohan, since we are free, let me remind you of something. Fong Ling said with a slightly serious tone. Senior brother Fong, please speak. Xiaohan listened attentively. Xiaohan, go to a desolate city in the western region and kill demon monarch Qinglin. My plan is to use the enormous pressure of demon monarch Qinglin to force you to complete the blood transformation and open your true acupoints. After you consumed the 7-day death-wishing pill, your entire body spirit tensed up and expanded. Your potential reached its peak, and your life reached its most intense moment between life and death. At that time you will need to add fuel to the fire, to completely explode your inflated mind. At that time you might be able to sense the true acupoints. What you need to do is to use the formless saber intent to break open the true acupoints. Fang Ling pointed at a spot 3 inches below his heart. Xiaohan, remember, the location of the first true meridian is here. And Xiaohan also used his hand to press 3 inches below his heart. He closed his eyes and nodded. Senior brother Fang, I'll remember this. After the first acupoint is opened, you will officially step into the Jinqi realm. From then on, you will be able to accurately sense the location of each acupoint. Generally speaking, after breaking through the first acupoint, one would continuously break through several acupoints in one go. However, the number of true acupoints that were opened for the first time was definitely less than 11. It's impossible to step into the second level of the Jinqi realm right after stepping into the Jinqi realm. Breaking through 1 to 10 true acupoints is the first level of the Jinqi realm. Breaking through 11 to 20 true acupoints is the second level of the Jinqi realm. Among them, the 11th true acupoint is a sturdy barrier. It's a bottleneck. How many true acupoints you can break after stepping into the first level of the Jinqi realm depends on your life potential, bloodline talent, and mental cultivation. I remember when I first stepped into the Jinqi realm, after breaking through the first true acupoint, I broke through 6 true acupoints in a row before stopping. Speaking of which, I should be considered an average talent. It's said that some high-level heroes and geniuses can break through 9 true acupoints consecutively the first time they break through the first level of the Jinqi realm. That's considered a monster of the highest quality. Fang Ling went on and on. Xiaohan, before we fight Demon Monarch Qing Lin, use the demonic aura and pressure he emits to force your way through. It's also very dangerous. When the time comes, I won't help you block the demonic aura that surges into my direction. If you can't withstand it, you might explode and die, Fang Ling said solemnly. Xiaohan subconsciously touched his heart and thought to himself, withstand the demonic aura? I'm blessed with the ability to do so. However, the demonic aura emitted by a demon monarch at his peak must be extremely ferocious. It's unknown whether the strange thing hibernating in my heart can withstand it. But I still have the indestructible golden body to protect me. I can still fight. Senior brother Fang, I'll do my best. In short, I still have a few days left in my life. I've already thrown caution to the wind. If I don't succeed, I'll just be shattered by the demonic aura and pressure of Demon Monarch Qing Lin, Xiaohan said resolutely. Yes, it's a good thing that you have the determination to go all out. Fang Ling nodded. Then Fang Ling continued. Xiaohan, when you successfully break through the Jinqi acupoints and advance to the Jinqi realm, there will be a period where you have to be extremely cautious and tread on thin ice. Because at that time, you haven't been able to cultivate a Jinqi cultivation method and infuse your Jinqi into the Jinqi acupoints. Your Jinqi acupoints are empty, so your offensive and defensive abilities won't improve much compared to when you were in the physical body realm. It's just that your mental state and ability to think will change. It can be said that this is a period of time. If you're killed by humans or demons during this period, you'll be a fool. You won't be able to rest in peace even if you die. Yes, he had gone through so much to break through the Jinqi acupoints. If he died at this time, it would be a great regret. Senior brother Fang, after hearing what you said, it's true. If I don't advance to the Jinqi realm and die just like that, it's nothing. But if I die after advancing because I don't have time to infuse my Jinqi, it'll be a great misfortune. Xiaohan's heart palpitated when he thought of this situation. He was worried that it would happen to him and quickly reminded himself to be careful. Xiaohan, listen to me. When Demon Monarch Qing Lin makes his move, regardless of whether you've broken through the Jinqi acupoints or not, I'll definitely send you away from that area with my Jinqi. You won't be able to stay and watch the battle. A slight shockwave from a battle of that level would be enough to crush you. Remember, if you succeed in advancing to the Jinqi realm, you must find a place to hide. Don't make a fuss and wait for me to come find you. If you fail, then find a good place to bury yourself. Xiaohan was speechless. He then nodded. Senior brother Fang, I understand. Suddenly, Fang Ling's gaze looked towards the distant end of the night sky as he spoke in frustration. There's a third possibility. That is, I'll be killed by Demon Monarch Qing Lin in this battle. Xiaohan, if you advance to the Jinqi realm, find a quiet place to hide for 3 days. If I don't find you after 3 days, find a way to return to the Cloud Rain sect. Senior brother Fang, how can you die in battle? With so many demon heroes working together, you'll definitely be able to kill Demon Monarch Qing Lin. You'll return victorious. Xiaohan quickly said. Fang Ling shook his head and laughed. Xiaohan, do you know that the Bei Xian demon monarch's injuries were exchanged with the death of 11 demon heroes? Demon monarch Qing Lin's attack power is even stronger than that of the Bei Xian demon monarch. Once the demon blade is drawn, not even a blade of grass will survive, he murmured as he looked at the true Qi silhouettes that were like shooting stars in the night sky. This time, I wonder how many demon heroes will be buried in the desert of the western region, forever losing the chance to return home. As soon as he finished speaking, a sharp sword gleam flashed across Fang Ling's eyes. There was even a sword intent that forcefully sliced apart the negative emotions and eliminated all distracting thoughts. He sat cross-legged and was as calm as a waterway. Xiaohan, I'll nurture my sword intent now to make the final preparations for the battle. You should also focus on the medicinal effect in your body. Yes, senior brother Fang. Xiaohan also activated his sword intent to eliminate all distracting thoughts. He emptied his mind and forgot about everything else. Morning. There were only 5 days left before Xiaohan's death. At this moment, Xiaohan's entire body felt uneasy as if he was sitting on pins and needles. His spirit was as tense as a bowstring and kept expanding. His 5 senses became extraordinarily sharp and the potential in his life was stimulated to the extreme. It caused the precious medicine that settled in Xiaohan's blood to dissolve continuously, speeding up the process of blood transfusion. The quality of his physical body unknowingly increased. Senior brother Fang, I feel that the medicinal power of the 7 days death-wishing pill has completely spread throughout my body. Right now, the gloomy aura of death in my body is becoming denser and denser. However, my reaction speed, thinking ability, and judgment ability have all been greatly enhanced. This is what you meant by, when one's mental state is stretched to its peak, the potential of one's life will burst forth like a flood. My premonition towards danger has also been enhanced. I can clearly sense even the slightest movement of a blade of grass in the wind. Xiaohan nervously said to Fang Ling, who was standing on the tiger's head with his hands behind his back. Yes, it is this state that allows you to be clearer and more penetrating. You can vividly sense the aura of danger that is about to come. When your spirit explodes, you will have the illusion that your soul has left your body. At that time, use your saber intent to eliminate all distracting thoughts and make your spirit flawless. Sense the location of the true acupoint. Remember the location of the first true acupoint that I told you. Fang Ling patiently advised. Senior brother Fang, I know. Xiaohan subconsciously touched the location 3 inches below his heart. I have already firmly imprinted the location of the first true acupoint in my mind. I won't forget it even if I die. That's good. Alright, we have arrived at the west region. With a thought from Fang Ling, the flying sword tiger dived downwards in an instant. Xiaohan hurriedly extended his head to take a look. Below him was a stretch of deep yellow. It was a vast and boundless desert. Boundless and boundless. Extremely desolate. In the middle of the desert there were also some jade-like oases. There were also various human kingdoms of various sizes. The flying sword tiger descended by several thousand meters and suddenly increased its speed. It tore through the air and flew forward swiftly. Xiaohan looked to his left and right. There were many great experts of the true Qi realm. They were either riding on rays of light or riding on dragons or riding on swords. All of them were heading in the same direction. Their speed was too fast. Xiaohan could not clearly see the appearances of these true Qi realm experts. However, he could feel the soaring aura and boiling battle intent from their bodies. After several hours, the flying sword tiger descended again. Furthermore, its flying speed began to slow down. Suddenly, the strange thing that was hibernating at the location of Xiaohan's heart began to turn slowly. Xiaohan glanced sideways at Fang Ling. Fang Ling narrowed his eyes, took a deep breath and murmured, "I'm almost there." At this moment, all the nerves in Xiaohan's body began to bulge. Even his mental energy was producing a popping sound. A huge sense of danger began to envelop Xiaohan. Oh, my mental energy is getting more and more excited. It's as if it will explode at any moment. Let's sense the true acupoint. Now let's sense the true acupoint. Xiaohan did not dare to be negligent. He sat cross-legged and sank his mental energy into a position 3 inches below his heart. He concentrated and began to sense. That place should be the first true acupoint of the human body. However, at this moment, it was silent and lifeless, like a pool of stagnant water. Not long after, at the end of the horizon, behind the rising and falling sand dunes, a desolate city appeared. A glass-like light pillar soared into the sky. It broke through the air and enveloped the entire city. Under the reflection of the sun and the sand, the glass-like light pillar glowed with a gorgeous rainbow. However, it was not a beautiful sight. It was demonic aura. A real demonic aura. The pressure on Xiao Han's body increased. The thing that was hibernating in his heart began to turn like a motor, dissolving the demonic aura. Bang bang bang, bang 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 bang, bang bang bang, bang bang bang. Xiao Han's heart was beating wildly, madly pounding against his chest. His temples were slightly throbbing. He even felt a little suffocated. However, at this moment, what? I feel some signs. Suddenly, in this almost dangerous atmosphere, the position of the first true acupoint, which had been silent all this time, started to throb slightly. However, this subtle feeling disappeared in a flash. Xiao Han did not catch too much of it. I really feel the traces of the first true acupoint. However, the pressure is not enough. Xiao Han opened his eyes. At this moment, the flying sword tiger had stopped flying. It was dozens of meters above the ground, floating in the air. Fang Ling stood proudly on the tiger's head. Sword chi surged all over his body, and he was as steady as a rock. His eyes were fixed on the desolate city in front of him. Clang! The long sword on Fang Ling's back let out a sword whistle. At the same time, dozens of demon warriors had already taken their positions and surrounded the desolate city. The desolate city was dead silent. It seemed that there was no longer any vitality in it. However, the overwhelming demonic aura indicated that there was a powerful demon in the city. It was Demon Emperor Qing Lin with boundless demonic power. Swoosh! Another Yao Xia flew over from the horizon. His whole body was overflowing with divine light, and he carried a long spear on his back. He remained silent and nodded to greet the few Yao Xia he was familiar with. Then he stood in his position. Bang! A saber light appeared and tore the sky apart. It slashed across the desert. The saber chi was violent, and thousands of tons of yellow sand were swept up. A yellow-robed swordsman in his 30s with a simple face stepped on the air and came over. The formless saber chi continuously cut through the white clouds and a path was formed. Under the saber chi, even the formless air was separated like water. Buzz! Xiao Han only felt that his saber intent and saber force were being suppressed. He felt so aggrieved that he wanted to vomit blood. Peerless swordsman. This yellow-robed swordsman must have comprehended a stronger saber intent than me. Xiao Han thought to himself. The yellow-robed swordsman carried a broken saber on his back. He had a domineering aura. He walked straight to Fang Ling and said expressionlessly, "You're here." "Just arrived," Fang Ling replied. The yellow-robed swordsman looked deeply at Fang Ling. On his calm face was a pair of gem-like eyes. That pair of eyes gave off a peerless saber intent. "Your sword intent is getting sharper. I hope that I can fight with you for 3 days and 3 nights next time. That would be delightful. A peerless swordsman like you always makes me itch to fight. A year ago I obtained a saber manual. Perhaps you are no longer a match for me now. However, to determine the victor we will have to exchange more than 1,000 moves. Just thinking about it makes me happy." "Likewise," Fang Ling said indifferently. "This time don't die in battle." The yellow-robed swordsman nodded slightly. "I'll try my best. You should try your best to survive. Without an opponent like you, I will inevitably be lonely in the future." Fang Ling and the yellow-robed swordsman looked at each other. In the next moment they actually laughed at the same time. Both of them stretched out their hands at the same time and held each other's hands. Soon they let go. "This battle will be very difficult. It is unavoidable that some people will die." The yellow-robed swordsman shook his head. Suddenly he looked at Xiao Han and said emotionally, "This young man, not bad at all. Fang Ling, give this young man to me. Let him be my disciple. I will teach him the peerless saber technique. He has his own path." Fang Ling refused flatly. The yellow-robed swordsman looked disappointed. Then he smiled at Xiao Han for the first time. "Young man, cultivate well." After saying that, he walked away without turning his head back and stood in a position. The atmosphere was getting more and more tense. The desolate city seemed to be getting quieter and weirder. Xiao Han's mouth was dry and his heart was beating like a drum. He looked around and saw that among the dozens of evil heroes, the middle-aged man who was sleeping in the tornado, the middle-aged man with electric arcs shooting out of his eyes like a thunder god, and the naturally seductive Ananfei had arrived. Their expressions were as if they were facing a great enemy. At this moment, "Everyone, you have come here from far away to be killed by me. Thank you for your hard work." An extremely elegant voice came from the desolate city. Boom! The strange thing that was dormant in Xiao Han's heart swelled violently. A violent sense of crisis covered Xiaohan all of a sudden. It made Xiaohan feel like his spirit was about to explode. Xiaohan. Demon Emperor Qinglin is about to come out. I will not resist the demonic aura and pressure that is rushing towards my direction. You will bear it all yourself. Start sensing the true acupoints. Fang Ling roared at Xiaohan in a stern voice. Yes. Xiaohan sat cross-legged facing the desolate city. His face was solemn. At the next moment, whoosh, 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 999 rays of light and 999 rays of auspicious aura ran through the east, west, south and north, intertwining like a net. Dense flower petals rained down from the sky. A young man in a snow-white robe slowly rose from the desolate city. He bathed in the multicolored light, auspicious qi and glazed beams of light. He stood out from the crowd, extraordinary and refined. His bearing was simply calm and unruffled. He floated in the air with his back straight. His hands were empty and he had no weapon. It was actually a young man and he looked like a human, not a demon at all. He was about 25 or 26 years old. His face was as beautiful as jade, and his facial features were very delicate. His black hair was loosely draped over his shoulders. His hair was soft and light. He gave off a sense of tranquility, like a jade tree made of snow. However, his eyes were blood red. He had demonic red eyes. These blood-red eyes were like a sea of blood, as if they could swallow a person in an instant. It was extremely terrifying. Demon Emperor Qinglin. This was the fearsome Demon Emperor Qinglin with boundless demonic power. Not only did he not feel any discomfort when facing dozens of demon heroes, he became more and more at ease. The situation was extremely strange. Hong, 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 the thing that had been dormant in Xiaohan's heart surged like a tidal wave. It resisted Qinglin Demon Monarch's aura with great difficulty and dissolved the massive demonic aura that swept everything away. At the same time, his spirit swelled to the limit, as if it was about to explode in an instant. His entire body was drenched in cold sweat, and his breathing was labored as he trembled non-stop. Xiaohan. Begin sensing the true acupoints. Fang Ling's voice exploded in Xiaohan's ears. P.S. It's 3:30. I really can't afford to be hurt. Chapter 80. Dozens of fiendish warriors unleashed their natal true qi. Beams of divine light, precious light and multicolored clouds fought against the fiendish qi. Demon Emperor Qinglin was clean and clean. He had a delicate and elegant smile on his face. However, his blood-red demonic eyes released endless craftiness and bloodlust. Normally, as long as a physical body realm martial artist was in such a bloody environment filled with demonic aura, unless there was a true qi realm expert to help him resist the demonic aura, he would instantly shatter like a piece of porcelain. However, Xiaohan's physical body was extremely refined and he had taken the 7-day death-wishing pill. His life force might be able to last longer, but his life was still hanging by a thread. Fang Ling wanted Xiaohan to forcefully break through his true meridians under such pressure. The degree of danger was not something that could be explained in a few words. Xiaohan at this moment. Xiaohan sat cross-legged on the tiger's back. His eyes seemed empty and he seemed to be thinking but not thinking. Fang Ling opened his body and released the demonic aura that was supposed to be resisted by him onto Xiaohan's body. My spirit is about to explode. My physical body can't take it anymore. What a terrifying pressure. It's like facing an ancient Swanee. Xiaohan was enduring inhuman pain and suffering. Soon, blood seeped out of his eyes, ears, mouth and nose. Rumble, 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 rumble. The strange thing that was hibernating in his heart moved like a motor, dissolving the demonic aura. However, the speed of dissolving was far slower than the speed of the demonic aura invading Xiaohan's body. Goo 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 goo. Suddenly, Xiaohan's body swelled up like a balloon. Then it deflated and deflated. Then it swelled up again and deflated again. The cycle repeated itself. Fang Ling, that young man is about to explode. The yellow-clothed swordsman whispered to Fang Ling, "What are you doing? Do you think a physical body realm martial artist can withstand the pressure of a demon emperor? Don't play with fire. Quickly help him block the demonic aura. Otherwise he will explode into ashes in an instant." Fang Ling did not say anything. He looked at Xiaohan sternly. Cold sweat seeped out of his forehead. How could he not know the danger he was in at this moment? Xiaohan, let's see if you can pull through. Fang Ling thought to himself. Damn it. It was about to burst. Invincible golden body, wash for this daddy. Xiaohan bit the tip of his tongue. Under the pain, his life force was stimulated once again. The abundant vitality in his body surged like a tide. Under the cleansing of the inextinguishable golden body, the violent demonic aura that invaded his body was somewhat alleviated. Immediately after, Xiaohan brought out his invisible saber intent and continuously shattered the demonic aura that enveloped him. He also tried to communicate with the demon monarch palm tattoo on his left arm to share the pressure. However, the demon monarch palm tattoo seemed to be defective, or it could only be used to kill demons and absorb their blood essence. Therefore, at this moment, it did not help Xiaohan absorb the demon qi around him. However, the inextinguishable golden body and saber intent worked together with the strange thing in his heart, greatly alleviating the danger of his body exploding. The next moment, the inflated body after being castrated actually no longer swelled. Oh, this little guy actually made it through? The group of demon warriors observed the strange Xiaohan with the corner of their eyes. What a strong vitality and flesh shell. Xiaohan. He had to seize the moment and sense the true acupoints. You won't be able to hold on for long. Furthermore, Demon Emperor Qinglin might launch a sky-shattering attack at any time. Fong Ling roared. Sense the true acupoint. Sense the true acupoint. Xiaohan's mind continued to expand, and he actually had the illusion that his soul had left his body. Shockingly. 3 inches below his heart, Xiaohan vaguely saw a 5-pointed star that was emitting a blurry light. It was a 5-pointed star that contained a strange space. Could this be the true acupoint? This is the true acupoint? Xiaohan was neither sad nor happy. His body swelled up again, but he had already turned a deaf ear to it. His mind was completely immersed in the blurry 5-pointed star. However, the 5-pointed star was fleeting, and it disappeared in an instant. Damn it. I didn't seize this fleeting opportunity, but it's already a huge improvement. Again. Xiaohan's 7 orifices continued to spurt blood, and layers of bloody mist burst out from the surface of his skin. He looked extremely hideous and he could die at any time. At this moment, you bunch of monsters are really overestimating yourselves. Demon Emperor Qinglin smiled faintly. I heard that the idiot Bei Shen Demon Emperor was besieged by a group of monsters a while ago, and he escaped with serious injuries. Diske, what a disgrace to us high-level monsters. Don't think that I'm as useless as the Bei Shen Demon Emperor. All the monsters that came today will die. The demonic qi around Demon Emperor Qinglin suddenly increased again. The terrifying demonic qi was getting thicker and thicker, and it was almost solidifying. Some of the weaker monsters were shocked by the aura and took a step back, their faces turning pale. The encirclement created by dozens of fiend heroes began to lose ground, and a flaw began to appear. It was almost disintegrating. The monsters looked at each other and were ready to fight to the death. At this moment, Demon Emperor Qinglin, who do you think you are? Today you will die without a doubt. A voice filled with terrifying confidence descended from the sky. Boom. A blazing sun fell from 10,000 meters high in the sky. The scorching sun illuminated the world, magnificent and brilliant. Everywhere it passed, the demonic qi was burned and melted. The sun landed and turned into thousands of rays of divine light, entering the body of a dignified man. The man was wearing a golden robe, and his face looked like it was carved out of stone. He was cold and resolute, and his eyes were like a heavenly king, as if he was born to attract light. As soon as he appeared, it was as if he was the only person in the world. He was filled with invincible spirit and confidence. The smell of spring and autumn rose into the sky. In an instant, a sonorous hymn rushed out of the man's body. Golden sunlight shone in all directions, and in each ray of sunlight, one could vaguely see the shadows of countless living beings praying and worshipping, purifying the demonic qi, bringing life and hope. The great Son of Heaven is here. The group of swordsmen cheered up and shouted in unison. Their declining fighting spirit was once again raised. The sunlight and hymn washed away the fear and shadows in the hearts of the monsters, giving them the belief that they would win. Demon Emperor Qinglin's expression finally changed. The great Son of Heaven, known as the 100,000 Demon Slayers, an all-powerful big shot on the demon hero list. I didn't expect that you would also come. Very good. Today I'll let you, a big shot, fall under my world-destroying demon blade. Demon Emperor Qinglin put his palms together. Countless red tentacles rushed out of Demon Emperor Qinglin's body. Each tentacle was 30 meters long, swaying and full of barbs, emitting a destructive demonic light and evil demonic qi. A red scimitar appeared in Demon Emperor Qinglin's right hand. The scimitar was covered with evil ancient demon runes, and there was an eyeball embedded in it that was blinking slightly. The eyeball was so demonic that it seemed like it was going to devour everything in the world. Traces of light were devoured by the eyeball on the scimitar, and the entire desert gradually became dark. He finally took out the world-destroying demon blade. I've been wanting to see it for a long time. A blazing sun rushed out from the head of the great Sun Emperor, and the divine light was dense like a tide. A god sat cross-legged in the blazing sun with his eyes closed, but terrifying majesty and power were brewing within him. Dozens of fiendish heroes were preparing their strongest attacks. The world-shocking battle was about to begin. The world became quiet. At this moment, a heart-wrenching scream rose into the sky, breaking the silence before the battle. Xiao Han, who was sitting on the back of the flying sword tiger, had expanded to the size of half an acre. He looked like a meatball that was about to explode. After Demon Emperor Qinglin took out the world-destroying demon blade, Xiao Han, who was at the physical body realm, finally could not withstand the pressure anymore. His mind was about to explode, and his body was about to be destroyed. In a flash, the location of the first true acupoint. I found it. Blade intent slash. Xiao Han ignited the inextinguishable golden body in his body, and the strange thing that was hibernating in his heart started to move at the fastest speed. All of this bought Xiao Han a breath of time. Boom! The blade intent that could slash through the void directly struck the first true acupoint. At the next moment, a crisp sound was heard as if an eggshell had cracked. Xiao Han's first true acupoint had been opened. 3 inches below Xiao Han's heart, there was a 5-pointed star that was emitting rays of light. Success. I, Xiao Han, have succeeded. At the moment of death, my true acupoint has been completely broken, and I've reached the true Qi realm. Xiao Han's hot tears flowed down his face. Then Xiao Han's inflated body deflated and returned to normal. His body was covered in blood. What? At the same time, Demon Emperor Qinglin's crimson eyes emitted a dazzling demonic light, and he shouted at Xiao Han. What are you hiding on your body? Come here now. Xiao, a feeler instantly extended to 100 zhang long, and like a long whip, it swept towards Xiao Han. The demonic aura broke through the air, and a blood-curdling scream could be heard. In the blink of an eye. Don't even think of touching him. The sword light around Fang Ling shone brightly, and a huge sword lotus rose from his head. The violent sword aura, along with the sword intent that could slash through the void, pierced through heaven and earth and cut through all living things. The sword lotus flew out at a speed faster than the speed of sound, and slashed at the red feeler that was wrapping around Xiao Han. Puchi. The feeler shattered. At the next moment, Xiao Han, go. Remember, find a place to hide and don't make a scene. Wait for me for 3 days. Fang Ling grabbed Xiao Han with his right hand, and threw him in the opposite direction. Come back here. Demon Emperor Qinglin's demonic blade shook, and a demonic red blade radiance slashed out. Everywhere it passed, the space was distorted and the void was shattered. The fragments of space and light were absorbed by the blade radiance, and its speed was several times faster than the speed of sound. In the blink of an eye, it was about to crush Xiao Han. Ah! Demon Emperor Qinglin, your opponent is me. The great Sun Emperor also moved. In the blazing sun above his head, the god that was entrenched in the sun suddenly stretched out a palm and grabbed the red blade radiance. The palm was formed by pure sunlight, and it was enshrouded in ancient and great runes. It was surrounded by hymns and true fire, and it was almost invincible. As for Xiao Han, he was sent flying a few hundred li away by Fang Ling's true qi. Just as he landed on the ground, there was a cracking sound, and the second acupoint in Xiao Han's body was opened. Then, crack, 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 one after another, the true acupoints exploded without end. P.S. Xiao Han has finally reached the true Qi realm. Ah! He broke through before he died. Chapter 81. Ascending to the heavens in a single bound. Just as senior brother Fang had said, after the first acupoint was opened, the second acupoint, the third acupoint, exploded continuously. In the blink of an eye, Xiao Han had continuously blasted 9 of his acupoints. Only then did he stop and calm down. What? I actually exploded a total of 9 acupoints? This is unbelievable. I heard from senior brother Fang that when he first entered the true Qi realm, he was only able to open 6 acupoints. Only some of the most talented experts are able to open 9 acupoints. Such people are as rare as phoenix feathers and Qilin horns. Opening acupoints is related to the foundation of one's body, mental strength, and innate talent. It seems like it's because of my tough body and the fact that I'm a transmigrator, my soul is blessed by the heavens. However, let's not worry about this for now. In the next moment, Xiaohan's mind moved slightly. Xiao. 9 glowing 5-pointed stars flew out of Xiaohan's body and hovered around him. Xiaohan's soul had an inseparable connection with these 9 5-pointed stars. They were like a part of Xiaohan's body. Every 5-pointed star had its own space that could store anything. Of course, the most important thing was to store true qi. However, Xiaohan did not cultivate any true qi cultivation method at the moment. Thus, the 9 acupoints were completely empty with nothing inside. This feeling was as if Xiaohan had bought 9 luxurious residences, but the 4 walls were bare, without any furniture or ornaments. However, Xiaohan's mental strength and the way his thoughts operated had indeed undergone a transformation. Xiaohan's eyes and ears were sharp and attentive. The colors of the entire world became more distinct. Xiaohan could hear the sand scorpions and snakes moving under the sand in the distance. He could see a few grains of sand floating in the air 10 zhang away. He could even sense people's gazes. If someone was spying on him from behind, he would definitely be able to sense it. Xiaohan raised his right hand and casually slashed out with a knife hand, shooting out saber qi. All of a sudden, the saber qi stopped and changed its trajectory. The saber qi that was supposed to be moving in a straight line suddenly made a turn and slashed towards the right. The trajectory was ever-changing, but it also had a natural feeling, untraceable and unpredictable. You can easily control the trajectory of the saber qi with your thoughts, controlling it as you wish. This is something a physical body realm martial artist will never be able to do. Xiaohan nodded. Currently, Xiaohan had also completed the blood exchange. The strength of his flesh shell had increased to 350 cauldrons, which was no small matter. Balls of light burst out of his heart, revealing the follow-up techniques of the Son of Heaven's divine fist, the indestructible golden body, and the 7-fragment saber art. However, Xiaohan was not in a hurry to study these cultivation methods. Now is not the time. Currently, Xiaohan had just entered the true qi realm, and he had yet to infuse his true qi into his acupoints. As Fang Ling had said, Xiaohan had to be cautious during this period of time. He had to find a place to hide and not be killed by humans or the demon clan. Otherwise, he would regret it for the rest of his life. Moreover, Xiaohan still did not know how to combine his martial techniques with his true qi to increase his power, so he was not in a hurry to learn it. Xiaohan focused his mind and sensed his surroundings. The strange thing hibernating in his heart and the demonic monarch palm tattoo on his left arm also circulated slightly. Once he discovered the presence of the demonic race nearby, he would react in advance. But luckily the place where Xiaohan was at was still safe, and there was nothing out of the ordinary. Right at this moment, boom, boom, boom. The earth shook violently and sand and dust flew everywhere. Xiaohan looked in the direction of the sound, and saw that hundreds of miles away, divine light soared into the sky, and rays of light rose, and there was a fierce demonic aura sweeping wildly. The battle has started. Senior Brother Fang and the group of demons have started a fierce battle with Demon Emperor Qinglin. Even though he was hundreds of miles away from the battlefield at this moment, Xiaohan's heart still tightened, and there was a sense of unease. Although I am now in the true qi realm, my offense and defense are weak. Any martial artist in the true qi realm can kill me as long as they infuse their acupoints with true qi. If I encounter the demon generals of the demon clan, I am afraid that I can only die with a grievance. Over there, the divine light is everywhere, and the demonic aura can destroy the world. I am afraid that the flames of war will spread here. I should hide as far away as possible. Xiaohan cherished himself more than ever. It was as if he was walking on thin ice. Immediately, he took a step forward and ran wildly in the vast desert, running in the opposite direction of the battlefield. Shockingly, I feel like someone is watching me. Xiaohan keenly sensed it. He closed his eyes slightly, and a pair of demonic eyes that were like blood moons immediately appeared in his mind, emitting a monstrous evil aura. It's Demon Emperor Qinglin spying on me. Damn it, he must have seen through the shocking secret hidden in my heart. That secret is related to the demon clan. It seems that this demon clan has his eyes on me. It's really unlucky to be targeted by such a powerful demon clan. Xiaohan's hair stood on end, and he immediately sped up, leaving behind a trail of thick smoke and dust in the desert. 4 hours later, Xiaohan ran for hundreds of miles. Looking back at the battlefield, the fierce battle was still going on. Mushroom clouds and tornadoes soared into the sky, and the yellow sand was blown up in tens of thousands of tons. It was as terrifying as it could be. Dangerous. Xiaohan did not dare to delay and continued to run. After running for an entire day and night, he finally stopped in front of a desolate city. Phew, it should be fine. Xiaohan bent down and panted heavily. He took the opportunity to take out a leather bag filled with water from his storage ring, opened the stopper and greedily drank the mountain spring water that emitted the fragrance of life. That was the water that Fang Ling had prepared for Xiaohan beforehand, so that he could survive in the desert. After drinking his fill, Xiaohan's mind moved. He realized that Demon Emperor Qinglin's spying had weakened a lot, and was no longer as intense and terrifying as before. Xiaohan heaved a sigh of relief. He considered whether he should enter the desolate city in front of him, rest for a while and then continue running. At this moment, the strange thing that was hibernating in his heart started to spin rapidly. In the next moment, boom, 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 boom. The yellow sand beneath his feet stirred, and a bloodthirsty demon roar burst forth from the desolate city in front of him. Countless demons surged out from the dilapidated city gate. Heart-wrenching screams rang out, and it was heart-wrenching. Most of these demons were about 1.9 meters tall, and they were in human form. Their brownish-red skin was as hard as steel. With a slight movement they would let out a long whistle. Their claws were like eagles, their eyes were like wolves, their legs were like toads, and their arms were like pythons. Their aura was surging, and they were violent and bloodthirsty. They were loose demons. There were also a few demon soldiers among them. Logically speaking, with Xiaohan's current combat strength, he should be able to kill a large number of loose demons, or even demon soldiers with the strength of his flesh shell. However, there were too many demons pouring out of the desolate city. They were as dense as a swarm of locusts, numbering in the thousands. Their toed legs were very strong, and with just a slight leap, they could cover a distance of over 10 feet. Thousands of loose demons surged over like a tide, like tens of thousands of galloping horses. The momentum was extremely fierce. Xiaohan did not dare to continue fighting, and in the end he was surrounded. Who knew if a demon general would suddenly appear in this demon race army? Xiaohan's life was very precious now, and he could not afford to make any mistakes. It was a tragedy to be buried in the western region desert when he had just reached the true energy realm. Immediately, the storage ring on Xiaohan's right hand flashed, and a single saber appeared in his hand. In one breath he slashed out dozens of sharp saber chi. The saber chi blasted into the demon army and exploded rapidly, turning into a sky full of saber rain. It was warm, lingering, romantic, and filled with unparalleled killing intent. Countless demons were shredded by the saber rain. Severed limbs flew everywhere, and demon blood formed a river. Run, don't get entangled. Xiaohan slowed down the demon army slightly, turned around and ran as fast as lightning. Suddenly, the blood essence of the demon corpses that were shredded by the saber rain turned into rays of light and entered the demon monarch palm tattoo on Xiaohan's left arm. The demon monarch palm tattoo throbbed happily, swallowing the blood essence of the demon race like a whale. It was like a drunkard encountering fine wine, or a lecher entering the ladies' room of a rich family. On Xiaohan's demon monarch palm tattoo, 2 demon veins had been awakened, and he had 200 ding of strength. At this moment, the 3rd demon vein was moving, showing signs of awakening. And Xiaohan's sprinting figure paused, and he turned around and brandished his saber. A ray of saber chi slashed out with lightning speed, and it immediately shattered. The broken jade slithered like a snake, and the saber rain blossomed like fireworks, shredding a few more loose demons. It even shattered the left arm of a demon soldier. Swish, 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 a large amount of demon race's blood essence merged into the demon monarch palm tattoo on Xiaohan's left arm. Suddenly, Xiaohan's left arm flashed with demonic light, and the 3rd dried-up demon vein was finally filled with demonic power. It was crystal clear and pure. Awakened. And not bad. Xiaohan deeply felt the violent power faintly seeping out from the demon monarch palm tattoo on his left arm. His index finger moved, and the saber in his right hand danced continuously. The hand that wielded the saber turned into a series of afterimages. A few breaths later, boom, a giant saber astral instantly formed. The peerless saber light, sharp and pure, dominated the world. Countless demons let out frightened screams, and they had an ominous premonition of death. They all stopped jumping and wanted to escape. But it was too late. All of them are nourishment for the demon monarch palm tattoo. This is great. Kill them. The giant saber astral slashed out at a speed close to the speed of sound, destroying gods and demons. PFFF. Everywhere the saber astral slashed, yellow sand was swept up into the sky, and was immediately crushed into nothingness by the saber chi. This saber astral slashed across, and at least 1/5 of the thousands of loose demons were slashed. Endless demon race's blood essence surged into the demon monarch palm tattoo on Xiao Han's left arm like a landslide and tsunami. Swish, 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 swish. Demonic light flashed on Xiao Han's left arm continuously. The 4th, 5th, 6th. Another 3 demon veins were awakened on the demon monarch palm tattoo on Xiao Han's left arm. It was a total of 600 ding. Ah, this is great. This is great. Xiao Han was in high spirits. At this moment, a gloomy and miserable voice came from the back of the demon army. Damn it. Human, how dare you kill my subordinates so wantonly? I'm going to suck your brain dry. I'm going to share your flesh and blood with my subordinates. And I'm going to smash your bones into powder. Boom. A gigantic demon rose into the air and a ferocious demonic wind covered the skies. Everywhere, the wind howled and cranes shrieked in all directions. It was a bleak scene. It was a 10 feet tall great demon with a sharp black horn on its head. Its skin was black as well. Huge tendons that looked like evil dragons were wriggling under its skin, producing the sound of raging waves beating on the shore. Its body was covered with sharp spikes, and every spike was surrounded by demonic chi and lightning. Its thick tail was 10 feet long, and when it swung back and forth, it caused the air to explode. From its body, there was even a faint sound of ghosts wailing and wolves howling. Under the feet of this great demon, there was a blood-red bat that was about half an acre in size. Its canines were as sharp as blades, and its extremely evil demonic chi rumbled like thunder, causing the sky to change color. It's a demon general? Xiao Han's heart skipped a beat. A demon general was equivalent to a human martial artist at the true chi realm. To be more precise, it was equivalent to a human martial artist at the low-stage true chi realm. It was already 3:30. I can't wait any longer. Ask for recommendation votes. Recommend a book, by the way. Chapter 82. That demon general's demonic aura surged into the heavens, his demonic eyes filled with viciousness and brutality. He stood on a bloodthirsty bat formed from demonic aura. Demonic winds corroded the sun, and the mountains and rivers were dyed in blood. Waves of terrifying danger surrounded Xiao Han like a tidal wave. However, the 9 true acupoints in his body trembled slightly, causing Xiao Han's entire body to feel comfortable and refreshed. He no longer felt pressured by the demon general's aura. In fact, Xiao Han's aura was comparable to that of the demon general. Unfortunately, he hadn't cultivated any true chi in his true acupuncture points. If he wanted to fight, he could only rely on his physical strength. Oh! The demon general suddenly froze, then roared. Ha! It turned out that he was a Jinchi realm martial artist of the human race. However, there was not the slightest fluctuation of Jinchi from him, as though he had just stepped into Jinchi realm and had yet to cultivate. Ah! What luck! The brains and flesh of human true chi realm martial artists, TSK. Nourishing. It has been a long time since I ate a human true chi realm martial artist. The demonic aura around the demon general burned even more intensely, filled with greed and killing intent. Right at this moment, die. Xiao Han waved the saber in his right hand, and a streak of saber chi shot out like lightning. The air rippled, and in an instant, the saber light was about to strike the demon general. Xiao Han took the initiative to attack, trying to fight for a chance of survival. However, this saber light, which surpassed half the speed of sound, did not manage to hit the demon general. Its thinking and reaction speed far surpassed that of a demon soldier. Loose demons were also faster than any human mortal body realm martial artist. With a grab of his right hand, a gigantic demonic aura palm appeared out of thin air and grabbed the saber light firmly. Xiao Han paused for a moment. The next moment, bang! The saber light exploded in the demon general's demon chi palm. Jade shards were torn apart, and the sky was filled with a rain of sabers. Buff, buff, buff. The rain of sabers slashed and strangled the gigantic demonic aura palm, causing a series of explosions and green smoke to rise. Damn it! The demon general was in pain. Suddenly, the bloodthirsty demonic bat opened its bloody mouth, and a demonic chi bullet instantly formed. It was the size of a wash basin, and it rumbled out, exploding toward Xiao Han. The demonic chi bullets had withered the air in the surroundings, creating a gloomy and despairing atmosphere that was devoid of any vitality. The speed of the bomb of demonic energy was close to the speed of sound. A human martial artist at the physical body realm would definitely not be able to avoid it. However, at this moment, the demonic chi bullet, which should have arrived in an instant, seemed to slow down in Xiaohan's eyes. Xiaohan's body leaped forward a few feet, and he actually managed to dodge the demonic chi bullet. Even though my true acupoints have yet to refine true chi, my thoughts are more than 2 times faster than a physical body realm martial artist. Thus, a strike that seems as fast as lightning is nothing more than an ordinary strike in my eyes. Xiaohan suddenly understood. However, at this moment he was determined not to continue fighting. He didn't want to use the strength of his body to fight a demon general to the death. If he continued to be in a stalemate, he was afraid that some other problems would arise. At that time, if a few more demon generals came over, then it wouldn't be fun anymore. With just a thought, Xiaohan's body tore through the air. He was already more than 100 feet away. Boom. The demon chi bomb blasted out a scorched land that was several feet wide and several feet deep. Even the gravel was corroded into ashes by the demon chi. It was extremely terrifying. The demon general paused for a moment when he saw Xiaohan dodge the demonic chi bullet and rush over 100 feet in the blink of an eye. Immediately, he let out a sharp roar. Chase them. We must catch him. This is a human martial artist who has just reached the true chi realm. Sucking his brain can increase the quality of my demon chi. We cannot let him go. Moreover, he seems to be hiding some treasure on his body that attracts this general. Kill. With a command, the loose demon army was led by a few demon soldiers. They trampled across the desert and chased after Xiaohan like 10,000 horses galloping. They hopped around like fleas. They were extremely ferocious and the scene was horrifying. Boom. Boom. Another 2 demon chi bombs exploded towards Xiaohan. Xiaohan turned his body and dodged the attack in a slightly awkward manner. He didn't stop and continued to run for his life. His heart was filled with hatred. Damn it. Wait until I refine true chi. I will definitely slaughter all of you bastards. All of you will become nourishment for my demon god palm tattoo. At this moment, rumble, rumble. Another loose demon army came from the left side of Xiaohan. Their numbers were astonishing. They covered the sky and the sun. They hopped around like fleas and kicked up thousands of feet of yellow sand. It was as if thousands of soldiers and horses were fighting on the battlefield. So many? Xiaohan hurriedly ran to the right. Foolish human, you can't escape. The demon general let out an owl-like shriek. Within 1,000 li radius, all of my tribes are here. You will die. Obediently let this general suck your brain dry. Ga. As soon as he finished speaking, Xiao, a wisp of air condensed into a peerless saber light. With the speed of sound, like a meteor chasing after the moon, it silently slashed towards the demon general. It was a wisp of saber intent. Peerless sharpness. Cut through the void. Pooh! The demon general tilted his head. However, his face was also slashed by the saber intent. Demon blood spurted out violently. Roar! The demon general howled miserably. The terrifying roar shook the mountains and rivers, crushing people's livers and brains. The demon general was finally furious. Xiao, the bloodthirsty demon bat burned with a blazing demonic light. Like a ray of flowing light, it chased after Xiaohan, dragging a flaming tail. Soon, the top of Xiaohan's head was shrouded by a dark cloud. The bloodthirsty demon bat appeared above Xiaohan's head and was about to spit out world-destroying demon chi bombs. Personally lead the army. Xiaohan's heart was like a boulder. The son of heaven's great power appeared out of nowhere. The air in front of him was split into 2 and rolled away. With an irresistible force, Xiaohan forcefully tore apart the air. His speed sharply increased as he rushed out. Boom, 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 boom. Several demon chi bombs exploded in the area where Xiaohan had been, leaving behind a rotten mess. Scorched earth spread out and deathly aura filled the air. At this moment, Xiaohan was possessed by the Son of Heaven's great power. He displayed the Son of Heaven's great power and personally led the army. His speed was like a ray of light, drawing a straight line in the great desert as he sped away. The demon race army in all directions did not give up on the pursuit. Like a stampede of elephants, they faintly formed an encirclement around Xiaohan. While running, Xiaohan raised his eyes and looked around. Yellow sand was flying everywhere. Demonic chi was rising. Within the sand mist, pairs of bloodthirsty demonic eyes appeared. In the sky, the demon general sat on the bloodthirsty demon bat, commanding the loose demons and demon soldiers to surround and attack Xiaohan. The number of loose demons and demon soldiers that participated in the encirclement this time had already exceeded 10,000. It seemed that the western region was very different from the southern region that Xiaohan came from. The southern region was dominated by human countries. The demon race could only stealthily come out to cause trouble. As for the western region, the demon race was too rampant. They even formed tribes and killed people on sight. With so many loose demons, even if I kill them all, my physical strength will probably be exhausted. Furthermore, there is still a demon general eyeing me. This time, could it be that I, Xiaohan, am going to die in this desert? I've just reached the true Qi realm. Am I going to die just like this? I am unwilling. Xiaohan made up his mind. The single saber in his hand buzzed. With the support of the saber intent, the Son of Heaven's great power gradually rose. The demon, the arch-palm tattoo on his left arm throbbed. Xiaohan wanted to use all his trump cards and kill his way out. However, at this moment, hula. All of a sudden, without any warning, Xiaohan's feet directly sank into the sand. Before he could react, his entire body had already sunk deep into the sand. Boom! There was a wave on the surface of the sand. Not long after, it returned to calmness. It was as if Xiaohan had suddenly been swallowed by a desert monster. What? Sand trap? The demon general in the sky shook his head with extreme regret. The bloodthirsty demon bat also stopped flying. It hovered in the air and flapped its wings. Leader, it's sand trap. That human is dead for sure. A demon soldier below screamed. It is said that in ancient times, this desert was the paradise of the human race. Many countries were established here and flourished for a time. Even today, under the vast yellow sand, there are still many ruins of ancient human countries and some human martial artists' cave abodes. The sand trap is a mysterious spectacle in this desert. It might be a mysterious power buried in the desert that occasionally activates and devours living beings. Whether it is the human race or our demon race, if they encounter the sand trap, they will definitely die. The demon general sounded the gong to retreat with extreme reluctance. At this moment, Xiaohan, boom, 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 Xiaohan was directly pulled into the desert by an inexplicable force and quickly passed through the desert. Endless gravel and gravel pressed against Xiaohan from all directions and filled his eyes, ears, mouth and nose. Puff, 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 puff. The saber qi around Xiaohan's body bloomed and crushed a large amount of gravel and sharp stones that were pressing towards him. His left arm flashed and the demon Thearka's palm burst out with 600 ding of strength. After an unknown amount of time, when Xiaohan was almost exhausted, Xiaohan's entire body suddenly sank into the ground. Sinking. Sinking. Bang. In the end, Xiaohan's feet were in the air and he actually fell somewhere. His feet were steady. It was not sand but solid soil under his feet. Xiaohan shook his head and spat out the sand in his mouth. Then he dug his ears, nose and eyes, making endless grains of sand. Finally, with a wave of saber qi, he crushed all the sand on his body. When he looked up, Xiaohan was stunned. He noticed that the place he was in was absolutely not a desolate desert, but a primitive jungle that was covered in luxuriant foliage that was full of vitality. The roots of 1,000-year-old trees were intertwined with each other while the vines that were 100 years old coiled around it. Between the trees, there were traces of divine light and precious clouds, bringing light to this dark and mysterious area where the sun could not shine all year round. In the endless light, Xiaohan's eyes could see and he looked left and right in a daze. Xiaohan sensed that the dense spiritual energy in this forest was extraordinary. What? The divine light floating on the treetops is actually vital energy. Xiaohan was shocked. He did not expect that there would be a large amount of vital energy in this area. However, after a slight sensing, there was no sign of life in the surroundings. It seemed that there were no living creatures. Looking up, the top was dark, deep, and sealed. This place seemed to be a world of sand. To be more precise, it was an ancient ruin that was buried by the desert. The bottom of the vast desert is actually a completely different world. That's right, I remember Senior Brother Fong once said that the Western region Great Desert was not a desert during the ancient times, but a paradise for the human race. There were countless martial artists and a prosperous country. Xiaohan walked forward and found that the spiritual energy in front of him was even more abundant. Streams of spiritual energy that seemed to be tangible rose to the top of an ancient tree and formed a spiritual cloud. Xiaohan was extremely curious. He walked around an ancient tree that looked like a palm in 2 or 3 steps. Xiaohan came to a place that was emitting dense spiritual energy. It was an area of more than 10 mu, surrounded by mountain walls on 3 sides. In the middle of the area, there was a lake that was a few mu in size. The lake water was the color of agate, crystal clear, and full of spiritual energy. On the surface of the lake, there was an indescribably mysterious and graceful divine light. Beside the lake there was an ancient stone tablet. Surprisingly, Xiaohan also found that on one of the mountain walls, there was a complete human skeleton. The bone material was as clear as jade, and there was a faint light emitting from it. This world of sand is really strange and strange. There are actually humans who died here. Their flesh and blood have been eroded by time, leaving behind only a set of bones. Xiaohan licked his lips and walked to the stone tablet by the lake. He raised his head and looked at it. At the same time, a divine light as thick as a thumb, several zhang long, swept past Xiaohan's eyes, emitting a distant ancient aura. It was as if it was the true qi left behind by a true qi realm martial artist in the ancient times. Everything is too strange, too mysterious. P.S. It's going to be published soon. The public version has been updated for more than a month. Every day I stayed up late, worried, and couldn't sleep at night. Finally, it's going to be published. The time to test the results of a book has arrived. Panic unease, the pressure is very, very great. This Demon God is the second Eastern fantasy book that I wrote. After thinking for a long time, I have many settings and ideas for the later content. However, I didn't write it out and I don't dare to say that it will be good. However, I hope everyone can read it patiently. I will try my best to create a world full of fantasy and passion for everyone. Then, after it is published, it means that it will be charged. In the past, every time it was published, I didn't specifically mention these things. But today I want to say a few words. As a writer, especially a full-time writer like me, the livelihood of my family depends on this little bit of writing. Don't be unreasonable, this is my rice bowl, my source of livelihood and my entire income. I believe everyone has heard a lot about writing recently. Some of his writer friends suffered from serious illnesses due to their irregular lifestyles. There are also some who die suddenly at home. This is indeed a tough job. In the past few years I have been writing at home after quitting my job, and my body has gained more than 20 pounds. This is a sign of obesity, a sign of suboptimal health. Staying up late for a long time, smoking a lot because of thinking about the plot, my life is irregular and my meals are also irregular. Forget it, I won't complain. What I want to say is, if you can afford it, you should subscribe and support it. Actually, it's still the same thing, a monthly subscription fee for a book is only a few yuan. Nowadays prices are so high, a few yuan is probably the price of a small dish. But this is the basic foundation that I rely on to survive. Well, you can recharge VIP in internet cafes and newsstands, you don't have to use online banking. Everyone can go to internet cafes or Computer City to ask. Okay, see you after midnight. Alright, recommend a good book. Chapter 83. Wisps of divine light, true qi flashed past Xiaohan's eyes. An ancient aura pervaded the air. Fishes and dragons danced in the air. It was a marvelous sight. Xiaohan looked carefully, and saw that each and every wisp of divine light true energy was filled with blurry oracle bone inscriptions and hieroglyphs. There were even little turtles that were slowly swimming around them. Of course, Xiaohan understood that the turtles in the light were only formed from true qi. They were not real turtles. Too miraculous. Really too miraculous. Xiaohan clicked his tongue repeatedly. After that, he disregarded the true qi that was like the glow of dawn and carefully stared at the stone tablet by the side of the lake. There were a few simple and unadorned characters carved on the stone tablet, and the strokes were strong and forceful. Earth Vein Spirit Spring. So this lake is the Earth Vein Spirit Spring. Xiaohan thought to himself as he looked at the amber lake that was filled with boundless spirit qi. It can't be some kind of treasure medicine, right? Other than the words Earth Vein Spirit Spring, there were some smaller words on the stone tablet. Xiaohan glanced at them. Earth Vein Spirit Spring Body Refining Treasure Medicine. Bathing in the spirit spring can strengthen bones, wash hair and marrow, rebirth, increase lifespan. So it really is a treasure medicine. Xiaohan nodded. However, it is only a body refining treasure medicine. For a true Qi realm martial artist, it seems to be a little useless. Also, my indestructible golden body is also a top-notch body refining technique. The more I practice, the more resistant I get. Body refining elixirs aren't that attractive to me. The most important thing right now is to obtain the 8 meridians of true qi. Once I pour my true qi into my 9 meridians, my battle prowess will skyrocket. Forget it. I will go over there and take a look. I will come back later to bathe in the Earth Vein Spirit Spring. Xiao Han walked towards the human skeleton on the mountain wall. When he got closer, he bent down to take a look. Every bone of this skeleton was emitting a faint light. Moreover, the bones were flawless, as if they were carved from jade. One look and it was obvious that this skeleton belonged to a martial artist. After a mortal died, their flesh would rot and their bones would wither. How could there be such a sparkling ivory skeleton? However, the martial artist who died here must have been dead for a long time. After all, a martial artist's body and internal organs were much stronger than ordinary people's. After death, their corpses could be stored for a long time before they started to rot and wither. As for the corpse before them, its flesh and internal organs had long since been mercilessly eroded and annihilated by the passage of time. Not even dregs were left and only a skeleton was left. Xiao Han raised his head and saw streams of twilight qi circling around the corpse, as if they were protecting it. Oh, I know. The deceased must have been a Jinqi realm expert, and this should be his abode. The Jinqi swimming around here was very likely the Jinqi he had cultivated before his death, and it had yet to completely dissipate. The Earth Vein Spirit Spring in the lake was also a precious medicine left behind by this true Qi stage martial artist. A thought flashed through Xiao Han's mind. AI, but it's a pity, a true Qi realm expert perished here. Thousands of years later, because of the movement of the Earth's crust, he is still buried in the sand, unable to see the light of day. Xiao Han felt a tinge of regret in his heart. His gaze shifted downward. Xiao Han saw the right index finger of the corpse extend out, as if directly embedded into the ground. Xiao Han wiped away the thick layer of dried leaves and moss covering the ground, gradually revealing a bluestone slab. There were actually words carved on the slab. Oh! Before this true Qi realm expert died, he used his right index finger to carve words on the slab. It's his last words. Xiao Han immediately understood. Focusing his gaze to read the words. I, Venerable Spirit Turtle, 5th Stage True Qi, traversed the western regions, but I did not expect that I would go berserk while cultivating. Medicine and pills cannot cure me, resulting in half of my body being paralyzed. I left behind the Earth Vein Spirit Spring in my abode, for those who are fated. This Earth Vein Spirit Spring was moved here from the northern regions and poured into the lake. Bathing in the Earth Vein Spirit Spring strengthens the body and increases lifespan. But those who are fated must bury the corpse before bathing in the spring. Remember. Before I died, I had already chosen a treasured place to bury my corpse, under a 10,000-year-old fir tree to the north of the lake. I fear it will be disturbed by rats and ants, so I ask those who are fated to dig 7 feet into the ground and bury me. I will reward them handsomely. Venerable Spirit Turtle? 5th Stage True Qi? Xiao Han was taken aback. In the True Qi realm, one would open 1 to 10 true acupoints, which was the first stage of True Qi. The 5th stage of True Qi was the opening of 41 to 50 true acupoints. TSK, opening so many true acupoints. Just how much True Qi can be stored? That's too impressive. As it seemed, the Venerable Spirit Turtle was no simple cultivator. He was definitely something else. He might have been an all-powerful figure in the past. Xiao Han clicked his tongue and sighed. Then he felt pity for the Venerable Spirit Turtle, shaking his head and laughing. Senior Venerable Spirit Turtle, your cultivation is so great, yet you actually succumbed to Qi deviation and died here. Even now, your corpse is exposed in the wilderness. It's extremely pitiful. Thinking about it, Xiao Han carefully picked up the Venerable Spirit Turtle's corpse and made his way to the north of the lake. Forget it. Venerable Spirit Turtle, I, Xiao Han, didn't covet your Earth Vein Spiritual Spring. It's just that I saw how you, a mighty true Qi realm expert, actually died without a proper burial, so I decided to bury you along the way. I hope you know this in the afterlife and help me escape from here and return to the surface. What Xiao Han did not expect was that a mere corpse would actually weigh 1,000 pounds. This indicated that the Venerable Spirit Turtle's body must have been extremely strong when he was alive. One must know that Xiao Han's body was extremely refined. His current body weight, including his flesh and bones, was only 5,600 pounds. TSK as expected of a true Qi realm grade expert. After so many years of death, a few bones are heavier than my entire body. Xiao Han laughed involuntarily. Xiao Han circled to the north of the lake and indeed saw an ancient fir tree that towered into the sky. It was 5 to 60 meters tall and exuded an ancient aura. Digging 7 feet into the ground and burying me? That's nothing. Xiaohan's left arm flashed with a demonic light. The demonic emperor's palm suddenly burst out. A demonic wind filled the air, causing the trees to rustle in all directions. Bang! The demonic emperor's palm slammed into the ground and 600 ding of strength burst out. The palm pierced into the ground. Crack, crack, crack. Cracks spread everywhere like a spider web. In the next moment, rubble flew into the sky and was ground into powder by Xiaohan's saber chi. A huge crater appeared on the ground. Smoke and dust filled the air. However, in the middle of the crater within the soil, there was a huge stone slab with words engraved on it. Xiaohan was stunned. Soon after, Xiaohan grabbed the venerable spirit turtle skeleton and jumped into the crater. He bent down and looked at the words on the stone slab. With a single look, his scalp went numb. If thou can see these words, thou art a true gentleman. That earth vein spirit spring is actually the eroding bone water. Once a person falls into it, their flesh and bones will disappear in an instant. Even low-level true chi realm martial artists will find it hard to escape. If thou ignore me and take a bath first, thou will die without a doubt. But if thou bury my skeleton first, not only will thou not die, thou will also obtain a great opportunity. Life and death are decided by a single thought. *CK. Xiaohan broke out in a cold sweat. This venerable spirit turtle is far too scheming. What bullsh *T earth vein spirit spring. So it's fake. It's actually a highly toxic medicinal liquid. Soak in it and you'll die instantly. Fortunately, I didn't jump into the lake in such a hurry. Otherwise, I wouldn't even know how I died. Vicious, too vicious. The more Xiaohan thought about it, the more his heart palpitated. Life and death really were decided by a single thought. Soon after, Xiaohan shook his head and laughed. Forget it. This venerable spirit turtle is scheming all this just to find a fated person who can bury him. As expected of a great expert at level 5 true chi. He's so scheming. He must have been a powerful figure when he was alive. But it makes sense. The world is dangerous. How can a person cultivate to such a high level if they don't have a burning point? Survival of the fittest. Those who are soft-hearted would have been killed long ago. Looks like I'll have to learn more from this venerable spirit turtle. Xiaohan stood in the deep pit for a long time. Various thoughts flooded his mind. Only after quite a while did he gently place the venerable spirit turtle's remains in the pit. Xiaohan jumped up and used the demon god's palm. Like grabbing tofu, he grabbed the soil on the ground and threw it into the pit. Not long after, Xiaohan had piled up a huge grave. He had finally buried the venerable spirit turtle. Xiaohan stood in front of the grave and put his palms together. He bowed deeply and said, Venerable spirit turtle senior, this junior has already buried you according to your orders. This junior does not desire any rewards. I only hope that senior can allow this junior to see the sky again. As soon as he finished speaking, I've finally been laid to rest. Thank you, fated person. You are a sincere gentleman. I am grateful beyond words. I've used the natal true chi I've condensed all my life, the spirit turtle true chi, to gift it to the fated person. However, with the passage of time, I wonder how much true chi remains. A desolate and ancient voice suddenly echoed through the dense forest of this underground world. The sound lingered in the air and was extremely strange. Xiaohan had never encountered such a strange thing. An ancient person who had died for God knows how many years could actually speak. Of course, Xiaohan understood as soon as he thought about it. Those must have been the venerable spirit turtle's last words before his death. At this moment, Xiao, 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 the rays of light that permeated the dense forest suddenly shot towards Xiaohan, and with lightning speed, they entered Xiaohan's true meridian. It was as if he had been enlightened. Soon the first true acupoint was filled up. The second true acupoint was also filled up in a short period of time. Then the third one. The fourth one. What? This true chi actually entered my true acupoint on its own. Xiaohan was surprised and delighted. I didn't do anything. This true chi seems to recognize me as its master. This is too magical, too magical. In the next moment he sat cross-legged and his mind sank into the pentagram true acupoints that were filled with true chi. Inside each of his true acupoints was a mysterious space that was about 3 meters in length, width, and height. The true chi that was injected was light blue. It was extremely pure and filled with an ancient aura. Dense runes, seal scripts, ancient bone inscriptions, and hieroglyphs could be seen. One spirit turtle after another swam in the true chi. Turtle? Alright. The true qi left behind by the venerable spirit turtle is called spirit turtle true qi. I wonder what use this spirit turtle true qi has. Xiao Han had gained something from nothing. Under the circumstances where he did not have to do anything, he had obtained true qi without any effort. This was almost like an infusion of power. It was as if he had picked up a treasure. He felt extremely carefree and indescribably wonderful. Soon, all 9 of Xiao Han's true acupoints were filled up. It was difficult for them to hold any more true qi. However, there wasn't much true qi left in this place. Only 3 or 4 wisps of true qi that were as thick as a thumb and several meters long had slipped through the net. As the true qi in this place flowed away, the plants and vegetation began to wither and wither. The spiritual qi declined, turning this place into a wasteland. The venerable spirit turtle was at the 5th layer of true qi and had opened 41 to 50 true acupoints. Logically speaking, the amount of true qi he had condensed in his entire life should have been more than this. Must have been too much time. Most of the true qi must have been destroyed with only a tiny bit remaining. However, it did fill up all 9 of my true acupoints. That's enough. I can't take any more true qi with me. Currently, Xiao Han's entire body radiated with endless light and splendor. He glowed with jewels and gave off a noble bearing. All of a sudden, a thought was transmitted to Xiao Han's mind. 3 forms of the spirit turtle. Turtle breath. Spirit turtle shell. Spirit turtle slash. It was actually the true qi of the spirit turtle that pulsed in the true acupoints, delivering 3 forms of martial skills. To be continued. Chapter 84. Xiao Han had already obtained the venerable spirit turtle's true qi, so naturally, he had obtained the venerable spirit turtle's martial skill as well. Moreover, with the pure spirit turtle true qi as the foundation, Xiao Han could cultivate these 3 martial skills as easily as blowing off dust. He could even say that he did not need to cultivate them. He could just visualize them with the spirit turtle true qi and succeed immediately. Xiao Han activated his saber intent and cut off all the distracting thoughts in his mind. His eyes were empty and his mind was calm. He began to study the 3 forms of the spirit turtle. The first form, the turtle breathing form, was neither an offensive nor defensive martial skill. It was a special martial skill. Activating the turtle breathing form, one could block all the true qi in one's body and even seal the true acupoints. Not only that, if he exerted his full strength, even his breathing, heartbeat and blood flow would be concealed, allowing him to enter a mysterious state of suspended animation. If he were to be placed in a metal box, thrown into the ocean and fished out for 10 days and 10 nights, he would still be alive. The second form, the spirit turtle shell. This form was the essence of the spirit turtle true qi, which was defense. The true qi took the form of a turtle shell, impervious to weapons, fire and water. Moreover, the spirit turtle true qi was obviously strong in defense and weak in offense. The third form, the spirit turtle slash, was an offensive martial skill. With the sharp edge of the tortoise shell, a sudden horizontal slash could cut through mountains and rivers in an instant. Seriously speaking, the 3 forms of the spirit turtle might not be a very profound true qi martial skill, but for Xiao Han it was free, so there was nothing to be picky about. If worst came to worst, he could go back to the pure cloud sect and ask for some powerful true qi techniques. In other words, whether he was satisfied or not, it was a free lunch from the sky. What was there to complain about? He would just have to make do with it for now. Xiao Han had reached the true qi realm at such a young age. He was indeed a genius. The pure cloud sect would not ignore him. 2 hours later, Xiao Han opened his eyes. His pupils were like stars. Phew, I finally succeeded in visualizing the 3 forms of the spirit turtle. Xiao Han looked happy. The next moment, whoosh, 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 countless rays of divine light and precious light gushed out from Xiao Han's 9 true acupoints. Runes surrounded them and true qi enshrouded them. In the blink of an eye, the true qi took form and evolved into a spirit turtle. This true qi spirit turtle was about 4 or 5 mu in size, which was already huge. It raised its head and swung its tail in the air, its earthy yellow eyes flashing with intelligence. The tortoise shell was covered with ancient oracle bone inscriptions and hieroglyphs, giving it an ancient fragrance. Everything was stable. There was a kind of unbreakable and impregnable feeling to it. I can finally use my true qi to take form. Xiao Han was overjoyed. The spirit turtle is a little ugly. It's not as good as senior brother Fang's flying sword tiger. It's not as good as a serpent, and it's not even as good as a bear. But it was better than nothing. If I hadn't fallen into this place, I would still be a rookie without a true cave, constantly on guard to avoid being killed. This was a blessing in disguise. Alright, now think of a way to get out of this place and meet up with senior brother Fang on the surface. Suddenly, a hint of worry appeared in Xiao Han's eyes. I hope senior brother Fang is safe and doesn't get killed by Demon Emperor Qing Lin. Right now, Xiao Han was anxious to return to the Pure Rain sect. There was no other reason. The Pure Rain sect's outer sect ranking competition was imminent. There was only half a month left before it would be held as scheduled. Xiao Han had to rush back to participate in the competition. Although Xiao Han had already ascended to the True Qi realm, he was still an outer sect disciple and had the right to participate in the competition. Shui Jianfeng. You think you're a genius and look down on everyone. You have a grudge against me, Xiao Han. This time, the outer sect ranking competition will attract the attention of the world. I, Xiao Han, will beat you up in front of everyone. What kind of genius are you? You're only half-step True Qi. Now I can smash you to pieces with a single slap. Xiao Han could even imagine the look of despair on Shui Jianfeng's face when he suddenly found out that his opponent was a True Qi realm expert during the duel with Shui Jianfeng. Ha ha, Xiao Han could not help but laugh. The spirit tortoise's 3 styles, the tortoise breath style, can perfectly seal the True Qi and true acupoints, pretending to be at the physical body realm. Ordinary people will definitely not be able to see through it. When I return to the Pure Rain sect, I will immediately seal my true acupoints and keep a low profile. When I face Shui Jianfeng in the outer sect ranking competition, I will forcefully open the seal. I, Xiao Han, will amaze the world with a single brilliant feat. After thinking for a while, Xiao Han prepared to ride the spirit tortoise and forcefully rush out of this place. All of a sudden. Wait. Xiao Han's heart tightened. That strange thing in my heart. At this time Xiao Han's mind was completely tensed up, his entire body showing great apprehension. That strange thing hibernating in my heart, just what is it? In the past I was at the physical body realm and could not see through it at all. Now that I've reached the True Qi realm, I can completely see the internal structure of my body, like looking at the lines on my palm. Cold sweat had already begun to seep out of Xiao Han's forehead. The major question that had been lingering in his heart had finally been resolved. But instead it caused his heart to palpitate. The reason was simple. Anyone who had a strange thing in their heart would be fine when they did not know about it, and they would be in a daze for a while. But when the answer was revealed, they would definitely be perplexed. Forget it, without the strange thing hibernating in my heart, I, Xiao Han, would be a living target for the rest of my life. I would have already been beaten to death by the inner Qi realm. This is my fate and fortune, what am I afraid of? Let's see. The blade intent destroyed all the negative emotions in Xiao Han's mind. Xiao Han calmed down. He sat cross-legged. He focused his mind and guarded his body. He looked into his body. Very quickly Xiao Han entered a mysterious state, as though he was on a mental journey. He saw the internal structure of his own body. Everything was revealed. White jade-like bones, flawless and without any impurities, organs as hard as diamonds, glazed, pure and untainted blood. A torrential flow of air flowed continuously within his body, nourishing him. It was the heat flow of the indestructible golden body. He looked into his heart. At this moment Xiao Han's heart was beating vigorously, full of vitality. His consciousness seeped into his heart. Gradually, he saw it. He saw the strange thing that had been hibernating in his heart. It was an oval-shaped egg. It was actually an egg. This egg was as lustrous as warm jade, emitting wisps of extremely strong demonic aura, as well as an ancient aura that could dominate the 3,000 great worlds. On the surface of the eggshell, there were densely packed seals. Each seal contained a vast righteous aura that could swallow mountains and rivers. Xiao Han finally understood. There was extremely evil demonic aura seeping out of this egg, as though it was about to hatch some powerful demon, but it was sealed by a large number of seals, forcefully sealing it, preventing it from hatching successfully. However, 3 of the seals had been broken. These 3 broken seals contained traces of the Son of Heaven's divine fist, 7-fragment saber technique, and indestructible golden body. Without a doubt, the 3 broken seals were the initiators of the 3 unique skills that Xiao Han had repaired and perfected. Shockingly, Xiao Han could feel that there was a vague will rolling in each seal on the eggshell, but he couldn't understand what it meant at the moment. The extremely evil demon in the egg also seemed to have a consciousness that Xiao Han couldn't see through. Moreover, this egg and the countless seals seemed to have fused with Xiao Han's heart, as though they had become a part of Xiao Han's heart. It couldn't be separated unless the heart was shattered. Xiao Han stopped his inner vision. Who? This inner vision consumed a lot of Xiao Han's mental strength, and his face was slightly pale. After resting for a moment, Xiao Han frowned and pondered. So, the strange thing in the heart is a demon egg. Moreover, this demon egg has signs of hatching, and the reason why it can't hatch is because there are countless seals inside. Although I don't fully understand all this, maybe when my cultivation level is higher, my vision and knowledge will broaden, and I will be able to see through the mysteries. But, the demon in the egg is definitely a high-level demon. Once the eggshell is broken, I'm afraid a peerless demon will be born. Is it a demon sovereign? Or a demon sovereign? Damn it, there's a demon egg in my heart. Xiao Han's heart palpitated and his hair stood on end. But there was nothing he could do. Xiao Han's cultivation level was too low, and he was helpless against this. He couldn't possibly let him destroy his heart with his own hands, right? After a while, Xiao Han made up his mind, and the invisible saber intent destroyed all his fear, and he was ready to risk it all. Forget it, I don't care so much anymore. Anyway, the seals on the surface of the eggshell can still hold on. Maybe in 8 to 10 years the demon egg won't hatch. What I need to do is to become stronger, so strong that I can personally deal with this pain. The fear in Xiao Han's eyes disappeared, and what was left was a rock-solid faith. No enemy, no difficulty can defeat me, Xiao Han. Alright, let's get out of here first. With a thought, a few divine lights rushed out from Xiao Han's true acupoints, and turned into turbulent air waves around Xiao Han's body, causing Xiao Han's body to fly into the sky. Xiao Han directly stepped onto the spirit turtle in the air. He stood on the turtle shell with both feet and smiled. Go up. Whoosh. The spirit turtle turned into a stream of light, and directly rushed up. The spirit turtle's speed was actually not slow. Of course, it couldn't be compared to Fong Ling's flying sword tiger, which could travel 200,000 li in the sun. But 50 to 60,000 li in the sun was not a problem. However, if it was in the water, the spirit turtle's speed would definitely be faster than the flying sword tiger. The spirit turtle soared into the sky, and soon, endless gravel appeared above Xiao Han's head. Go out. Divine light surged around Xiao Han, and true energy gushed out. With a boom, the spirit turtle drilled into the gravel and continued to drill upwards. The gravel in all directions was crushed by the true energy, and flowed away like water. But after a while, pfft. The spirit turtle carried Xiao Han, and suddenly rushed out of the sand, completely leaving the world of sand and returned to the vast desert. The sun hung high in the sky. Unknowingly, Xiao Han had already stayed in the world of sand for a day and a night. Finally he could see the sky again. The air in the desert was distorted, and the gravel was so hot that it could instantly cook an egg. However, in such a harsh environment, Xiao Han felt like he had ascended to the world of immortals. He breathed in the scorching air to his heart's content, wiped the sweat on his forehead and laughed loudly. Ah! I Xiao Han am back again. As he laughed, the spirit turtle turned into rays of light, and entered Xiao Han's true acupoints. In the next moment, the true energy in Xiao Han's body was extinguished, and even his 9 true acupoints were sealed. As a result, Xiao Han looked ordinary, and there was not a single trace of true energy. The light and radiance on his body also dimmed. Now he was completely in the state of vitality of the physical body realm. This turtle breathing technique is indeed magical. Xiao Han nodded repeatedly. I wonder if senior brother Fong can see through it. I'll find a place to wait for senior brother Fong. Xiao Han looked around, and the demon egg in his heart also sensed the surroundings in case the demon race appeared. Although this demon egg is nurturing a peerless evil creature, it is also under my control at this moment. Xiao Han suddenly felt a little dazed and confused. Chapter 85. Xiao Han sensed his surroundings vigilantly but did not find any dangerous aura. The yellow sand beneath his feet was rolling like a tide and hot air was rising. Xiao Han knew that there were many unknown legends hidden in this desert. The venerable spirit turtle's cave abode was probably just the tip of the iceberg. I wonder when senior brother Fong will come to find me. Xiao Han was slightly dazed. Then he stuck out his tongue and licked his dry lips. Why don't I take the initiative to look for some demon tribes and start a massacre? I'll sweep through everything and add fertilizer to the demon monarch's palm tattoo on my left arm. Now that Xiao Han had obtained true qi, his combat power was extraordinary. He might be able to fight against ordinary demon generals. As for the itinerant demons and demon soldiers, he would kill as many as they came. If he went all out, the Demon Emperor's palm tattoo on his left arm would definitely receive a huge amount of nourishment and awaken demon meridians one after another. It might even awaken the more noble and mysterious demon runes on the Demon Emperor's palm tattoo. However, Xiaohan was still slightly fearful. Now, when he closed his eyes, a pair of blood-red demon eyes appeared in his mind, emitting an extremely evil and monstrous demonic aura. That was the surveillance of Demon Emperor Qinglin. It could lock one's soul for thousands of miles. However, the feeling of being watched was not very strong. It was very faint and Xiaohan had to deliberately feel it to be able to detect it. Damn it, that Demon Emperor Qinglin is keeping a close eye on me now. It's the sealed demon egg in my heart that attracted it. Although there are countless opportunities in this desert, it's still not safe enough for me at the moment. Once Demon Emperor Qinglin chases after me, I'll instantly die without a burial place. Xiaohan felt a faint chill down his spine. Suddenly he only felt that it was frightening. What? Demon Emperor Qinglin's spying on me has yet to dissipate. In other words, he's still alive. Then senior brother Fong and the others. Just as Xiaohan was in a state of shock, a calm voice came from behind him. Xiaohan. It was Fong Ling's voice. Xiaohan turned around and saw Fong Ling, who was dressed in hemp clothes and had his hair tied up, carrying a sword on his back. At this moment, Fong Ling's aura was extremely weak and his face was slightly pale. Even the sharpness in his eyes was a little dull. He seemed to be seriously injured. Senior apprentice brother Fong. Xiaohan hurried forward to greet him. Suddenly Xiaohan's footsteps stopped. He saw that within Fong Ling's body, there were 48 pentagram true meridians surging. Divine light flickered faintly, but most of them were dry and withered. After advancing to the Jinchi realm, not only could Xiaohan see through his own body, he could also see through the life force of others. Of course, it might be because Fong Ling was injured that Xiaohan could see through his cultivation so easily. TSK, senior brother Fong has opened 48 acupoints, and his cultivation is at Jinchi realm level 5, close to level 6. He was on par with the venerable spirit turtle. Of course, realms are realms and battle prowess is battle prowess. The two cannot be confused. Xiaohan nodded to himself. At the same time, Fong Ling's eyes were filled with shock. Xiaohan, what's going on with you? You have clearly opened your Jinchi acupoints and reached Jinchi realm in a single bound. I saw it with my own eyes. But why can't I sense your true acupoint? It's like a pool of stagnant water. Did something strange happen to your body? I used the tortoise breathing technique to conceal all the true qi in my body and closed my acupoints tightly. It's as if I'm secluding myself and not making any progress. I actually managed to fool even senior brother Fong. Xiaohan was slightly delighted. Soon after, Xiaohan smiled non-committally and changed the topic. Senior brother Fong, you're injured? Has Demon Emperor Qinglin been killed? What about the other fiends? Xiaohan was actually very clear that Demon Emperor Qinglin was still alive. A hint of bitterness flashed across Fong Ling's eyes as he shook his head slightly. Demon Emperor Qinglin truly lives up to his name as a mighty figure of the demon race. He possesses world-shocking battle prowess and boundless demonic techniques. That apocalyptic demon saber is too demonic. When the saber light flashed, the bewitching saber chi almost sucked people in. Fong Ling's face was filled with shock. This time, if it wasn't for the great Sun Emperor joining the encirclement, all of us would have died in battle. Even so, 5 fiends were killed and both Great Sun Emperor and Demon Emperor Qinglin were injured. I was also severely injured by a saber chi. Demon Emperor Qinglin has already escaped, so we should hurry up and leave the western region desert. Right now, I don't even have a tenth of my battle prowess, and all the true energy in my body is exhausted. If I encounter a slightly more powerful demon general, I will definitely not be able to resist. Fong Ling frowned and said in a low voice. However, my true energy is almost dried up, and I can't transform into the flying sword tiger beast. I have to think of another way to leave the western region. Senior brother Fong, if you don't mind? Xiaohan said hesitantly. I can give you a ride. In the next moment, whoosh, 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 rays of divine light and haze surged out from the 9 true acupoints on Xiaohan's body. It was a spectacular sight. The strong true energy fluctuations caused the air around Xiaohan to be blown out with waves of gentle ripples. Looking at Xiaohan, his entire body was bathed in the treasure light, overflowing with color. His eyes were like stars, his hair fluttered in the wind, and his clothes fluttered. His temperament changed from mediocre to gorgeous. This. Fong Ling was completely moved. His throat gurgled and his eyes widened, unable to say a word. Xiao Han immediately unsealed the 9 true acupoints that were sealed, and abundant true energy gushed out. Not long after, the true energy took form, and an enormous spirit turtle floated in the air. Its entire body was shining brightly, and under the scorching sun, it glowed with a bronze color. This true energy is ancient and simple, and it is extremely pure. It must be the true energy left behind by some ancient person. It can't be cultivated by you, Xiao Han. Fong Ling finally said loudly. Xiao Han, what fortuitous encounter did you have? You even fooled me by sealing the true acupoints just now. Fong Ling's eyes focused as he carefully looked at Xiao Han. Immediately after, he was so shocked that he couldn't close his mouth. Xiao Han, you actually opened 9 true acupoints. You just reached the true energy realm and you broke through 9 true acupoints in one go. You're so young, but you're already so talented. Xiao Han shocked Fong Ling again and again. It caused this peerless swordsman who possessed sword intent to completely lose his composure. Senior Brother Fong, let's go. While we were on our way, I told Senior Brother Fong everything that had happened. Xiao Han chuckled. All right. Fong Ling used his sword intent to cut off the shock in his mind. The divine light flashed on the two of them, and a mysterious force lifted the two of them into the air and onto the turtle's back. Let's go. Return to the southern region. The true energy spirit turtle turned into a ray of light, broke through the air, and returned in the direction of the southern region. Xiao Han and Fong Ling sat cross-legged on the wide turtle's back, and the true energy around their bodies dispersed the heavenly wind and airflow. Xiao Han told Fong Ling about being surrounded by the demon army, being mysteriously trapped in the underground world, the venerable spirit turtle's cave, and how he was bestowed with cultivation. Of course, Xiao Han would never tell anyone about the secret of the demon egg in his heart, even if he was beaten to death. I didn't think that you, Xiao Han, would actually have such luck. Fong Ling sighed repeatedly after hearing everything. In the cultivation of the martial Tao, talent is important, but hard work is also indispensable. However, the most important thing will always be luck. Some martial artists are geniuses, but they don't have luck in their entire lives, and in the end they will live a mediocre life. Xiao Han, you really are blessed with luck. You obtained the true energy bestowment of an ancient person for nothing. You've picked up a great bargain. Moreover, the spirit turtle's true energy is extremely defensive. The turtle breathing form is a unique cultivation method. It can conceal true energy, seal true acupoints, and deceive the heavens. Is powerful, very powerful. He. Hearing Fong Ling's praise, Xiao Han also felt rather complacent and could not help but say, Senior Brother Fong, I really am lucky. If I had gone to soak in the earth vein spirit spring first, my soul would have flown away a long time ago. Fong Ling snorted coldly. That venerable spirit turtle is as crafty as a ghost. Xiao Han, you really are lucky. If you refined true energy and were forcefully bestowed with the spirit turtle's true energy, you would have died a long time ago. When foreign true energy collides in true acupoints, your body will most likely explode. Xiao Han's heart trembled. Senior Brother Fong, what do you mean? Could it be that the venerable spirit turtle left his true energy behind to harm others? Xiao Han, normally speaking, as long as you've refined one type of true energy in your true acupoints, you can't cultivate another type of true energy with completely different characteristics recklessly. Otherwise, when the two types of true energy collide in the true acupoints, it would be difficult for your body not to explode. Do you think that the venerable spirit turtle is willing to lose his true energy to someone he doesn't care about after his death? Xiao Han, you've just reached true energy realm, so your true acupoints are empty. That's why you didn't fall for it and instead benefited from it. Fong Ling's lips curled into a cold smile. The martial world is dangerous. Xiao Han broke out in a cold sweat. After a while, Xiao Han finally spoke. Senior Brother Fong, the venerable spirit turtle was a great expert at the 5th level of true energy when he was alive. He's no small matter. I'm afraid he's a renowned figure in the western region. In my opinion, he's just a regular independent cultivator. What, dominating the western region? That's just boasting. Senior Brother Fong said indifferently with some disdain. Below the immortals is the fiend hero, and below the fiend hero are the living beings. Below the immortals is the demon hero, and below the demon hero are all living beings. Xiao Han's heart shook. Senior Brother Fong, what does that mean? A regular true energy realm is nothing special. If they're really powerful, they're all demon heroes. Xiao Han, remember, Demon heroes are the strongest in the true energy realm. They're chosen through a trial with a slim chance of survival. Killing a regular true energy realm is as easy as blowing away dust. However, Xiaohan, your cultivation is still a little weak, so you don't need to know too much. When you're stronger, you might be qualified to participate in the demon hero selection. Yes. Xiaohan nodded his head heavily. He kept muttering to himself. Below the immortals is the demon hero, and below the demon hero are all living beings. It sounds really powerful. In the next few days, Fang Ling taught Xiaohan some of the most basic methods of using true qi. For example, using true energy to form hands. As for how to use true energy to manifest the Son of Heaven's divine fist and blade Dao, Xiaohan would have to return to the Pure Cloud sect and merge them in seclusion. The day before returning to the sect. Senior brother Fang, we've already left the northern region of the ancient desolation and returned to the southern region. Tomorrow morning we can return to the Pure Cloud sect. Xiaohan said excitedly. Fang Ling nodded his head. Xiaohan licked his lips. Senior brother Fang, when we return to the sect, I'm going to use the turtle breathing style to seal my true acupoints so that I won't be exposed. My true energy realm cultivation. I hope senior brother Fang can hide it for me. Oh. Fang Ling looked up at Xiaohan and smiled lightly. You want to amaze the world? Yes. Amaze the world. Xiaohan nodded his head heavily. Don't worry. When I return, I'll immediately go into seclusion to heal my injuries. I won't tell anyone, including the higher-ups of the sect. Early the next morning, the true energy spirit turtle finally flew to the sky above the Pure Cloud mountain range. Compared to the scorching heat of the western region, the southern region had already entered the early winter. The wind was biting cold and it was snowing heavily. The entire Pure Cloud mountain range was covered in silver. Faint immortal qi permeated the mountain range, contrasting with the heavy snow. Ah! Xiaohan am finally back. Ah! Xiaohan laughed heartily. There were only 3 days left before the Pure Cloud sect's annual Outer Disciple ranking competition. Many of the outer disciples who had been training in the Jianghu had returned to the sect just like Xiaohan. All of them were rubbing their palms together. They wanted to make a name for themselves in the Outer Disciple ranking competition. Chapter 86. The true Qi spirit tortoise silently landed on a quiet hill outside the mountain range. In the next moment, the spirit tortoise disintegrated into rays of ancient light and was absorbed into Xiaohan's 9 true qi. Then Xiaohan activated the spirit tortoise style and completely sealed the 9 true qi. It was as still as stagnant water. Even the rays of light that were as bright as the stars in his eyes were magically sealed. Fang Ling could not see any flaws at all and was amazed at the sight. Now Xiaohan was just a physical body realm martial artist at a glance. There was nothing special about him. Then the two went their separate ways. Xiaohan leisurely wandered back to the outer sect peak where he was at. This time he was in the limelight at the Shao clan's meeting, but he also encountered the mysterious North Profound Demon Emperor and was almost killed by 3 true Qi realm experts. Then he risked his life and took the 7 Sun Death Wishing Pill, to survive in the midst of death and advance to the true Qi realm. He fled to the western desert and had a fortuitous encounter. All kinds of trials and transformations, lingering between life and death. Now that he had safely returned to the sect, Xiaohan also felt an inexplicable sense of familiarity as if it was a lifetime ago. Thus, when Xiaohan saw the outer sect disciples walking back and forth on the street, he took the initiative to smile and greet them politely. This made all the outer sect disciples feel flattered. Senior brother Xiaohan, you're back? That's great. There are 3 more days and it's this year's outer sect ranking competition. Our peak is relying on senior brother Xiaohan to support us. That's right, that's right. A few days ago the 3 leaders kept talking about senior brother Xiaohan. Senior brother Xiaohan is now the main character of our peak, the spiritual leader. Every month, the basic benefits have increased from 100 true martial coins to 500 true martial coins. Senior brother Xiaohan, you can do it. This time's outer sect ranking competition, you will definitely be in the top 3. A pink and cute female outer sect disciple said with a blushing face. As she spoke, she secretly glanced at Xiaohan with her phoenix eyes. She was extremely embarrassed. Xiaohan was now supported by all the disciples of this peak. Xiaohan strolled on the snow-covered long street for a while before returning to his courtyard. As soon as he opened the courtyard door, he saw a person sweeping the snow in the courtyard. Who else could it be but Acho? Xiao Han's heart was filled with the feeling of reuniting with a long-lost friendship. "Senior brother Ah Cho, I'm back." Ah Cho hurriedly put down his broom and rushed over to give Xiao Han a bear hug. "Xiao Han, you're finally back. It's great that I'm still in time for the outer disciple ranking competition." The two of them entered the house one after another. Ah Cho boiled water and brewed tea. Then they started chatting while sipping their tea. Xiao Han observed Ah Cho's life force state and knew that Ah Cho's marrow refinement had already reached a certain level. His meridians were long and his breathing was heavy and powerful. Furthermore, wood rings appeared in Ah Cho's pupils. It was obvious that he had touched upon the essence of the withered wood treasure record. "Senior brother Ah Cho, you have improved a lot during this period of time. 1,000 li in a day. I think, in this year's outer sect ranking competition, senior brother Ah Cho will definitely become a dark horse." Xiao Han was extremely gratified. Ah Cho rubbed his hands, his expression was also extremely excited. "Xiao Han, maybe it's because of the previous clan meeting your words and actions motivated me. Furthermore, those 3 true Qi realm experts threatened to massacre the entire city. That feeling of fear and despair caused my spirit to undergo some transformations. All in all, I can feel my improvement. Of course, I don't dare to have extravagant hopes of becoming a dark horse. I just hope that I won't be eliminated in the first round." "Alright, Xiao Han, after we parted at Blazing Flame City, where did you and direct disciple Fang go? During this period of time, your martial cultivation must have improved by quite a bit?" "It's just ordinary, I just followed senior brother Fang to wander around and broaden my horizons." Xiao Han blew on a tea leaf in his cup. He didn't dare to tell Ah Cho that he had already stepped into the true Qi realm. He reckoned that Ah Cho would faint on the spot. "Xiao Han, in short, in this year's outer sect ranking competition, your name will definitely spread throughout the sect and your prestige will spread. The only one who can compete with you is Shui Jianfeng." Ah Cho lowered his voice and whispered. "Alright, Xiao Han, you have to be careful. I heard that Shui Jianfeng and a few direct disciples went to the western region to train and return with great rewards. I heard that Shui Jianfeng is already infinitely close to the true Qi realm. Just half a step away, he can reach the heavens in a single step and defy the heavens. Furthermore, he found an ancient sword in the ruins of an ancient country in the western region. It's a precious weapon, imbued with true Qi, entwined with a turtle and snake, able to cut through anything. Ah, infinitely close to the true Qi realm?" Xiao Han casually drank a mouthful of tea, his face full of sneer and disdain. "Senior brother Ah Cho, there are countless martial artists that infinitely close to the true Qi realm, but in the end they didn't cross it. This half a step is not so easy to cross. In the middle is a heavenly moat. As for precious weapons and the like, true experts will not rely on external forces. Strength comes from one's own strength, not relying on any treasures." An indescribable confidence burst out from Xiao Han's eyes. Ah Cho was stunned at the sight. Shui Jianfeng's mountain peak. Shui Jianfeng's side courtyard. At this moment, Shui Jianfeng stood proudly with his hands clasped behind his back. His spirit and aura were becoming more and more detached. Although it was winter, he only wore a thin long gown. His skin was crystal clear, flickering with a dazzling luster. His jet-black long hair was parted down the middle, hanging on both sides of his shoulders. His eyes were in high spirits, like flashes of lightning, concealing a sword intent and pride that could topple a city. Towering like an abyss. It made people's hearts palpitate. On his back was an unsophisticated sheathed longsword. A ray of light that was as thick as a thumb and about 3 meters long was constantly circulating, emitting a draconic hum. The snowflakes that were falling from above were extinguished by the formless sword intent when they were a few feet away from Shui Jianfeng, causing Shui Jianfeng's entire body to be clean, without a speck of dust. He had a feeling that he was about to achieve Dao and ascend. The 4 outer sect disciples stood at the side with their hands hanging down with trembling legs. They deeply buried their heads and didn't dare to raise their heads. Their breathing was rapid as they were oppressed by Shui Jianfeng's aura. "Senior brother. 3 junior brothers were sent by you to spy on Xiao Han. In the end, none of them came back. As for Xiao Han, he swaggered back from his secluded cultivation in the deep mountains and old forests. With one move he crippled Ling Feiyu of their mountain peak, and he also wiped out Gong Sun Kang's mountain peak. Gong Sun Kang, Jing Shan, and the others all died without leaving a corpse. Senior brother? I'm afraid that the 3 junior brothers who were spying on Xiao Han have already been killed," the 4 outer sect disciples reported while trembling with fear. Shui Jianfeng let out a cold snort, causing the surrounding air to tremble. The snowflakes that filled the sky seemed to be affected by Shui Jianfeng's anger, shattering into powder and scattering all over the sky. A living target, a lowly dog-like person. Just because he had a fortuitous encounter, he doesn't know his own capabilities anymore. He actually dared to provoke me again and again. He even dared to kill my people. He's courting death. He probably thinks that in this year's outer sect ranking competition, he can slightly contend against me. What a huge joke. As of now, my spirit has already been sharpened to the point of sharpness. Indistinctly, I can feel the barrier of eternal separation between man and heaven. Within 2 years I will definitely advance to the realm of true Qi. I will ascend to the heavens in a single step. Shui Jianfeng said proudly. The treasured sword on his back let out a cheerful dragon roar, resonating with him and bringing out the best in each other. Forget it, the evil that he brought upon himself is the hardest to bear. In a few days' time in the outer sect ranking competition, this seat will personally slaughter him. A violent killing intent swept out from Shui Jianfeng's eyes. Yes, senior brother is invincible. Senior brother is invincible. The 4 outer sect disciples finally all knelt down, trembling non-stop. Inner sect mountain range. Elder courtyard. In a warm and fragrant room, a young man sat on a chair made of sour twig wood and sipped tea. This man looked to be around 25 or 26 years old. His appearance was very beautiful and his eyes were pure black, black like an endless abyss. If one looked at them for a while longer, they would have the illusion that they were going to be sucked in. His skin wasn't pure snow white, but it was gentle and exquisite like jade, but warmer and softer than jade. There was a faint haze and light flowing around his body, round and smooth like jade. He was at the true Qi realm. A few elders whose fleshly bodies had reached the pinnacle of the blood transformation realm, but were unable to covet the true Qi realm for their entire lives, were carefully serving him at the side. This year's outer sect ranking competition will be hosted by your inner sect elder courtyard. That man put down the teacup and said unhurriedly. He had an imposing manner as if he was in control of everything. Yes, it must be done in an orderly manner. When the time comes, many true disciples will personally come to watch the competition. There must be no chaos. Yes, young Master Ziyu, don't worry. Our inner sect elder courtyard has consecutively hosted many outer sect ranking competitions. We are very experienced, there won't be any mistakes. One of the elders hurriedly said. Yes. The young man smiled faintly. His temperament was like a high mountain and flowing water, free and unrestrained. This year's outer sect ranking competition has generous rewards. The outer sect disciples are definitely rubbing their palms together, unable to hold back and wanting to fight it out on the stage. What do you think of this year? Young Master Ziyu, this year's ranking, especially the top 3, shouldn't be too different from last year. First place is 99% certain to be in Shui Jianfeng's bag. Shui Jianfeng is a genius that only appears once in 100 years. An elder sighed. This kind of beauty will enter the true Qi realm sooner or later. At most it will take 2 or 3 years. This seat admires this child Shui Jianfeng very much. He even has a shadow of this seat when I was young. His arrogance and sharpness are things that this seat admires. The young man nodded slightly. A few elders exchanged ruminating glances. Immediately, one of them said in a low voice. Young Master Ziyu, some time ago, a demon-like youth appeared in the outer sect. His name is Xiaohan. This child is also a genius. He single-handedly leveled an outer sect mountain peak. Now he is in the limelight and will become the biggest dark horse in this year's outer sect ranking competition. If we were to talk about this year's outer sect ranking competition's variables, I'm afraid it would be Xiaohan. However, young Master Ziyu, please rest assured. No matter how demon-like Xiaohan is, his foundation and innate talent are still lacking. He will not be a threat to Shui Jianfeng's position. But Xiaohan and Shui Jianfeng seem to have some personal grudges. Previously, when Shui Jianfeng was engaged to an outer sect female disciple of the Medicine King Valley, Xiaohan actually shouted at Shui Jianfeng in front of him. Ha! The young man's eyebrows twitched, a displeased look brewing in his eyes. Young Master Ziyu, we have already thoroughly investigated. It turns out that when Xiaohan was a live target, he was once beaten up by Shui Jianfeng, who was still a disciple at that time. He vomited 3 liters of blood and almost died. This year's champion will definitely be Shui Jianfeng. He deserves the title. Whatever dog or cat, don't come and pester endlessly. The young man said with slight anger. You guys go and knock on the outer sect leader of Xiaohan's mountain peak. Even if Xiaohan is a genius, he still needs to abide by the rules. Don't be a noisy guest and steal the spotlight. These 2 days Xiaohan slept in his courtyard. When it was time to eat, he would go to the canteen with Acho. He also did not cultivate. He completely relaxed and recuperated. There was still 1 day before the outer sect ranking competition. Xiaohan was called to the White Jade Plaza by the 3 leaders. In the White Jade Plaza. 3 leaders, it's been a long time. Xiaohan said with a smile. Xiaohan, how was your training during this period of time? The 3 leaders also laughed and casually chatted with Xiaohan. So. Xiaohan did not say much. Suddenly, the eyes of the 3 leaders revealed a deep grievance and awkwardness. 3 leaders, what's wrong with you? Xiaohan immediately asked. Xiaohan, we all know that you are extremely talented in the martial Dao. You improve at lightning speed, almost monstrous. You are also a natural-born bladesman. You are extremely talented. We all have high hopes for your performance in this year's outer sect ranking competition. However, Shui Jianfeng also improved a lot. He vaguely had the feeling of stepping into the true Qi realm. His every action was a cut above others. Xiaohan, what we mean is that if you want to compete with Shui Jianfeng for the first place, you still lack some foundation. Xiaohan, why don't you fight for the top 3 in this year's outer sect ranking competition? Anyway, after Shui Jianfeng becomes the outer sect champion, he will immediately be promoted to the inner sect. Next year's outer sect ranking competition will definitely be yours. Xiaohan immediately sensed that the words of the 3 chiefs were implying something, and they did not mean what they said. Therefore he immediately said calmly. 3 leaders, don't you want disciple Xiaohan to fight for the first place for our mountain peak? The 3 leaders looked at each other with complicated expressions on their faces. Suddenly one of the leaders blurted out. Xiaohan, to be honest, the inner sect elders asked us to inform you that the first place of the outer sect this year belongs to Shui Jianfeng. Xiaohan, let me tell you, Shui Jianfeng has curried favor with a few true disciples. No matter. Xiaohan waved his hand. Disciple understands. Please be at ease, this disciple will definitely not make things difficult for the 3 masters. So what if he curried favor with true disciples? I'm already in the True Qi realm and have opened 9 True Qi realms. In the entire Fire Beacon Empire, I am probably as rare as a phoenix feather or a unicorn horn. Shui Jianfeng, what do you have to fight me? I want to see if the sect values you, a half-step True Qi realm, or me, a genuine True Qi realm. Xiaohan sneered and left the mountain peak. The next day, early morning. Dong, 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 from the mountains of the inner sect of the sect, a long and deep morning bell rang. This was to summon all the outer sect disciples to enter the inner sect mountains. Outer sect ranking competition. Begin. Chapter 87. As the morning bell rang in the inner sect mountains, the Pure Rain sect's annual outer sect disciple ranking competition finally began. Numerous outer court disciples that had the ambition to make a name for themselves in the outer court ranking competition this time and become eminent were already waiting with their weapons on their backs, and they itched to fight their opponents, causing them to wish for nothing more than to immediately stand on the arena and fight their opponents. They heard that the champion of this outer sect ranking competition would be rewarded handsomely. There was news that it would be a top-grade sacred medicine and a true Qi cultivation method. A true Qi cultivation method was definitely not a trivial treasure. Compared to the martial skill secret manuals of a physical body realm martial artist, it was more than 100 levels higher. Not to mention the champion, even the top 3 and top 10 would be rewarded handsomely. Moreover, during the competition, the inner sect disciples and inner sect elders would all be present. There would also be a portion of true Qi realm experts and direct disciples. If there was an outstanding outer sect disciple, they would definitely be recruited and won over. At this moment, the 10 outer sect peaks leaders all brought their disciples and entered the inner sect peak. Xiaohan's peak. The 3 leaders took the lead and behind them were thousands of outer sect disciples. Xiaohan naturally walked at the front, with the air of a leading sheep. Acho basked in the limelight and walked beside Xiaohan, chatting with Xiaohan. This peak's other prodigy besides Ling Feiyu, Meng Ran, walked behind Xiaohan, looking at Xiaohan's back with a venomous gaze. But he did not dare to be ostentatious, much less roar. Ever since Meng Ran returned to the peak, he had heard of Xiaohan's fierce name many times. Moreover, he crippled Ling Feiyu with one move, ruthless and tyrannical, causing Meng Ran to be dumbfounded. Xiaohan, yesterday I heard that the reward for the champion of this outer sect ranking competition is not only a treasure medicine to increase the probability of breaking through to the true Qi realm, but also a true Qi secret manual. With these two rewards, advancing to Jinqi realm would be a matter of time before he was able to do so. This is a great opportunity. Xiaohan, try your best to be first. If you reach the true Qi realm, I will be proud. In the future, in the outer sect's 10 peaks, no one will dare to bully me, hee. Ah Cho laughed softly. Senior brother Ah Cho, don't worry. I will definitely be the champion in this competition. There is no doubt about this. Those who stand in my way will all be trampled to death. Xiaohan said domineeringly. When the three masters heard Xiaohan's bold words, they felt gratified, but also a little uneasy. In the mountains of the inner sect. Battle Peak. The peak of Battle Peak was extremely vast, occupying an area of more than a few hundred acres. In the middle, there was a lotus platform that was made up of many arenas. It was 12 stories high. On the highest level, there was an arena that stood tall like a lone mountain, giving off a feeling of being a crane among chickens. There were 2 arenas on the next level. There were 3 arenas on the next level. The lotus platform was surrounded by seats. Among them, there were seats for the 10 peaks of the outer sanctum, the participants, the inner sanctum disciples, and the inner sanctum elders. There was also a seating area with only a dozen or so seats, covered with expensive beast skins. There were also a few specially selected female disciples serving tea and playing music to serve them. However, the 10 or so seats were still empty, not a single person could be seen. A flood of people rushed into the peak and found their own seats. Although there were many people, it was not noisy. Everyone was solemn and followed the rules, not daring to speak loudly. Xiaohan's peak was also in position, entering a square formation. The 3 managers took out a lot of number tags from their storage rings and distributed them to the disciples who were going to take part in the competition. Meng Ran, this is your number plate. Ah Cho, take your number plate. Ah Cho, this is your first time participating in the outer sect competition. I wish you good luck. Don't meet a strong opponent in the first round. Zhang Xiaohua, your number plate. Xiaohan, your number plate. Xiaohan received a palm-sized square plate from one of the masters. It was made of copper with a number carved on it. 821, N. Xiaohan nodded to the 3 masters. Oh right, Xiaohan, you're so young but you're already a genius. You've only entered the outer sect for a year, and you've already achieved amazing martial achievements. However, there's always someone stronger than you. If you meet an opponent who can defeat you, you can choose to admit defeat. That's not embarrassing. One of the masters cautiously reminded. Disciple understands. Xiaohan smiled. After receiving their number plates, Xiaohan and the hundreds of disciples participating in the competition moved to the participants' seats. They all sat down and waited for the competition to begin. Ah Cho sat at the seat beside Xiaohan. Xiaohan's face was expressionless. His true qi was sealed tightly, his eyes were plain and unaffected. He even blocked the blade qi. I tried it last night. This turtle breathing stance can not only seal the true qi and true qi, it can even seal the internal organs and blood vessels. The only thing it cannot seal is my heartbeat. Because there's a demon egg in my heart, the extremely evil and strong demon qi seeps out. The turtle breathing stance cannot seal it. Xiaohan thought. Xiaohan, I'm so nervous. So nervous. It's my first time participating in the competition, and I've always been a kind person with a very good temper. I rarely fight with others. I'm really nervous right now. Ah Cho said in a low voice, feeling uneasy. Senior Ah Cho, don't be nervous. Once you're on the stage, you can use the wooden dragon pillar to attack from afar. If the opponent wants to fight you in close combat, use the withered wood palm. Xiaohan advised. At this time, the participants from the other peaks also rushed into the participants' seats. Among the contestants, there were a few who were half a step into true qi. However, Xiaohan didn't even glance at them. After a while, Shui Jianfeng has appeared. Look, it's Senior Shui Jianfeng. Last year's champion. So handsome. So cool. A group of female disciples muttered as if they were infatuated. Only to see Shui Jianfeng in a white robe with a treasured sword on his back. He walked into the participants' seats with a majestic gait. Behind him was a large group of outer sect disciples. All of them had a face of worship. His powerful aura swept through the participants' seats, causing many participants to feel as if there was a thorn in their backs. Those with lower cultivation had cold sweat on their foreheads and their faces turned green. Shui Jianfeng casually sat down. His face was full of sneers and disdain. His gaze turned and looked deeply at Xiaohan. So, Xiaohan. Shui Jianfeng. Shui Jianfeng is here, such a strong aura. A Cho stuttered in Xiaohan's ear. Ha. Xiaohan smiled and did not look at Shui Jianfeng. But he could keenly sense that Shui Jianfeng was observing him. Xiaohan felt Shui Jianfeng's gaze and also felt the killing intent and contempt in this gaze. Suddenly, an outer sect disciple beside Shui Jianfeng glared angrily and growled, "Xiaohan! What did you do to junior brother Lin He and Murong? How dare you? How dare you attack the disciples of our outer sect's first peak? A heinous crime. Whose dog is barking here because they didn't look after it properly? Get lost." All of a sudden Xiaohan turned his gaze over, his eyes bursting with a blade light that was as sharp as lightning, a blade light that could take one's soul away. The outer sect disciple who scolded Xiaohan felt as if he was struck by lightning. His face instantly turned pale and he spat out a mouthful of blood. He knelt on the ground and trembled uncontrollably. What? Injuring someone with just a gaze? This is too strong. It's Xiaohan. This guy single-handedly raised an entire outer sect mountain peak, causing the third-ranked outer sect mountain peak to wither and decline in a short period of time. He's too powerful. He's truly a ferocious person. He doesn't even give senior brother Shui Jianfeng face. They have shed all pretenses of cordiality. This time, the two of them have shed all pretenses of cordiality. I'm afraid that if we meet on the stage it will be a fight to the death. There will be no mercy. The participants' seating area was filled with discussions. Shui Jianfeng's expression changed, but he quickly calmed down and looked at Xiaohan with a pitiful gaze. Not bad. In such a short time he has already begun to change his blood. Furthermore, there is a blade light in his eyes. It seems that his blade cultivation is not bad. He has the capital to be arrogant. If he doesn't die prematurely, he might be able to obtain the qualifications to enter the Supreme True Qi realm in another 8 to 10 years. But next year and today will be your death sentence. Xiaohan, you are courting death. He. Xiaohan laughed and did not say anything else. He turned his face away. True Qi realm? You think you have the qualifications to judge the True Qi realm? I'm laughing my head off. Over at the inner sect disciples' seating area, there were many half-step True Qi experts who shifted their attention to the participants' seating area. Naturally, Shui Jianfeng and Xiaohan became the focus of their discussion. Shui Jianfeng's aura is becoming sharper and sharper. It seems that his spirit has been tempered to the point where it can cut through hair with a single blow. Breaking through to the True Qi realm is a done deal. It has been a long time since our Pure Cloud sect had a youth at the True Qi realm. There is no doubt that this Shui Jianfeng has reached the True Qi realm. However, I wonder if he has the possibility of representing our Pure Cloud sect to participate in the Devil Hero selection. The Devil Hero selection is a narrow escape. It all depends on whether Shui Jianfeng dares to participate. Our Pure Cloud sect has been established for tens of thousands of years. We have a deep foundation and many talents. How many Devil Heroes have we produced so far? Only a handful. You can't say that. According to historical records, our Pure Cloud sect was once prosperous. There was a period of time when we produced many Devil Heroes. However, they died in the war with the demon race. Alright, let's go off topic. It's just an outer sect ranking competition and you guys are talking about Devil Heroes. Shui Jianfeng is a genius, but his current foundation is far from being able to compare to Devil Heroes. It's a world of difference. We can discuss this again when he reaches the True Qi realm. As for that Xiaohan, he's a hidden talent. However, there can't be two tigers on one mountain. He's just unlucky. So, we inner sect disciples need to cultivate well too. We've been stuck at half-step True Qi for so long. We're just one step away. Everyone needs to work hard to improve. Right when the inner court disciples were discussing without end, shockingly numerous rays of light and auspicious clouds descended from the sky. Endless streams of air surged and transformed into Qi dragons, Qi tigers, Qi cranes, Qi apes. All of them were vivid and lifelike. Heavenly flowers fell. Amidst the red light, more than 10 extraordinary figures appeared. There were both men and women among them. However, they didn't look too old. They all had the appearance of teenagers. In terms of temperament, some were as deep as an ancient well, some as tyrannical as a god, some as calm as the clouds and wind, and some disdainfully looking down on the world. Light surged from each of their bodies, forming a precious glow. The moment these people appeared, They walked towards the dozens of seats that were made of beast skin and served by beauties. True Qi realm. They were the direct disciples of Pure Cloud sect. Welcome, true disciples. A few inner court elders stood up one after another, bowed and paid their respects. For a moment, the tens of thousands of people gathered on the mountain peak all stood up and sang in unison. Welcome, true disciples. In the contestants' seats, all the contestants, including the arrogant Shui Jianfeng, stood up and bowed as well. Their eyes were filled with respect and worship as they shouted loudly. Welcome, true Qi realm experts. Xiao Han pretended to stand up as well. His gaze swept over, but he didn't see Senior Brother Fong present. He thought to himself, Senior Brother Fong didn't come? Looks like he's in closed-door cultivation to recuperate. All the true Qi realm experts sat down. A young man in a brocade robe with eyes as deep as the abyss and skin as warm as jade slowly took a cup of tea from the hands of an inner court girl and said indifferently, "You may begin." This man was young Master Ziyu, who looked highly upon Shui Jianfeng and wanted Shui Jianfeng to take first place. A few inner court elders stood up together and bowed. Yes, true disciples. Then this year's outer court disciple ranking competition will begin. RS. Chapter 88. Dong. A long and sacred bell rang. The lingering sound made people feel refreshed and full of fighting spirit. Fellow outer sect geniuses. One of the inner sect elders was a person of virtue and prestige. His cultivation base was at the peak of the blood transformation realm. Just a casual sentence from him would cause his voice to ring out like a great bell, echoing dozens of miles. It was extremely shocking. The scene suddenly became quiet and a pin drop could be heard. The annual outer sect ranking competition has begun. I don't want to say any more nonsense. You outer sect geniuses are the pillars and cornerstones of my sect. Most likely, in the future there will be a supreme true Qi realm among you. From then on, you will become the main character of the sect. In the future war with the demon race, you will also shine and establish an indelible contribution. Then, the rewards of this outer sect ranking competition. As he spoke, the inner sect elder looked towards the seats of the true disciples. That young Master Ziyu whispered to a white-clothed young man beside him. Senior brother, please show us the rewards. The white-clothed man's appearance was ordinary. His body was shrouded in a faint glow, but his face was sickly. His face was pale and he kept coughing as if he was suffering from a serious illness. But in his eyes, there would occasionally be a light like that of a primordial ferocious bird. More than 10 true disciples were very respectful towards this sickly white-clothed man. Cough cough. The white-clothed man smiled slightly. Good, the rewards will be here. I have to say the rewards of this outer sect disciple ranking competition are the most generous in all the years. As he spoke, swish 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 swish, the white-clothed man coughed and flicked his fingers. Rays of divine light shot into the air. Treasures appeared one after another. There was the precious blood of strange beasts needed by blood transformation realm martial artists. There was the support of true Qi. There were weapons that glittered with treasure light. There were precious medicines that could heal wounds and almost bring the dead back to life. There were martial skill secret manuals. However, the most dazzling were the 2 treasures that floated at the highest point in the air. Among them, there was a golden medicinal pill that was wrapped in divine light. It was the size of a peanut and emitted a surging vitality like the Yangtze River, as well as a mysterious luxury. It gave off a feeling of ascension. The other treasure was even more eye-catching. It was a booklet that emanated a 10,000-year-old cold energy. Within the misty cold energy, there seemed to be a dragon-shaped creature coiling about, letting out roars. It was ferocious and barbaric, spitting out icy mist that no one dared to look at for too long. It was as if he would be frozen if he took another look at it. True Energy Secret Manual? Xiao Han's heart was filled with excitement. When he focused his gaze, he could vaguely see a few words appearing on the cover of the booklet. At this moment, the white-clothed man coughed a few times and spoke with a weak voice. Fellow outer court participants, the prize for the champion this time is an ancient medicine, Transcendence Saint Pill. This medicine was a sacred medicine for breaking through to the supreme true Qi realm. Peak blood transformation fleshly body. If a martial artist half a step into true Qi uses it, they will have a 10% chance of stepping into the true Qi realm. 10%. He had gained 10% more confidence for nothing. This 10% chance might seem insignificant, but martial artists who were half a step into true Qi knew how precious this 10% chance was. Sometimes, when breaking through to the true Qi realm, they only lacked that 1% or even 5% to have a sliver of chance. Separated by a sliver, forever separated by heaven and man. Now, not only were the outer court disciples blushing, even the inner court martial artists who were half a step into true Qi felt their throats go dry, their eyes glowing green. They wished they could directly replace the outer court disciples and participate in the competition. But this was impossible. Shui Jianfeng's entire body erupted with a blazing light, the thirst in his eyes as deep as the ocean. 10%. I'm actually only 10% away from the true Qi realm. With this transcendence Saint Pill, I will reach the heavens in one step, transcending mortality and entering sainthood. My life level will increase. What outer court disciples, inner court disciples in front of me, they will be like ants. I must get it. No one can compete with me for it. Whoever dares to dream about it, I will directly explode with my sword and turn them into dregs. Shui Jianfeng's emotions were also somewhat deranged. Cough cough. In comparison, the second reward is not inferior. Cough cough. That is a true Qi secret manual that I found in the ruins of an ancient country in the extremely cold northern region. Hornless Dragon Profound Ice True Qi. Once cultivated, the true Qi in the body will transform into cold Qi, freezing mountains and rivers. One can also transform the true Qi into a hornless dragon, spitting out ice souls and blowing out cold Qi, freezing the enemy into ice dregs. Cough cough. The hornless dragon will circle around a small country, and that small country will be completely destroyed, turning into a lump of ice. Cough cough. Although the white-robed man had a sickly face and spoke weakly, his weak voice was like clear spring water, seeping into the depths of the person's soul, causing everyone present to clearly hear his words without missing a single word. What powerful true Qi. With just a little bit of it, it can destroy a small country. The value of this hornless dragon profound ice true Qi is even greater than that transcendence Saint Pill. If I cultivate this true Qi, whoever dares to provoke me will be directly shattered into ice dregs with a wave of cold Qi. In my opinion, the transcendence Saint Pill is more precious. Without reaching the true Qi realm, you will not be able to cultivate the hornless dragon profound ice true Qi. You must first reach the true Qi realm. This is the foundation. What's there to compare? Both are saint treasures, and once you become the champion you can collect both. Many people couldn't help but start discussing. It was in full swing. This time's outer sect ranking competition, the prize was too precious, unique and unparalleled, comparable to the inner sect disciple ranking competition of the past years. Tiskefe, the hornless dragon might be stronger than my spirit turtle? At least in terms of offense, the hornless dragon profound ice true Qi will definitely surpass the spirit turtle true Qi. Xiaohan was also moved. Cough cough. The competition begins? The white-robed man kept coughing. The inner sect elder announced the official start of the competition. In an instant, rays of divine light surged, completely enveloping the lotus platform. It was a spectacular sight. This was to prevent people outside the stage from interfering with the competition. This layer of divine light screen isolated external objects. It allowed the contestants to fight in peace. Next, a few inner sect elders began to look at the number plates of the outer sect disciples. Announcing the match. One by one, the outer sect disciples rushed onto the stage and started fighting. Xiaohan Huanghu, get on the stage. Xiaohan heard an inner sect elder announce that it was his turn to fight. Immediately, Xiaohan jumped onto one of the stages at the bottom of the lotus platform. Xiaohan stood motionless on the stage. His opponent was a young, sturdy man at the peak of the blood transformation realm, half a step into true Qi. He held an iron rod in his hand, and the surging strength Qi transformed into a fierce tiger, choosing its opponent to devour. Xiaohan, although you have been in the limelight recently, you will lose when you meet me. You probably don't know, but in the last outer sect disciple ranking competition, I Huanghu was ranked 6th. I have to say your luck is terrible. You actually met me Huanghu in the first round. You should admit defeat now. If you fight, you might have to break your arms and legs. I Huanghu don't make a move, but once I do, I will definitely hurt you. You better think thrice. The sturdy man laughed sinisterly. You talk too much nonsense, get down. Xiaohan waved his right hand lightly, and the peerless blade light flashed violently. Pooh! Huanghu did not even have time to react, and his chest was cut open, dripping with blood. It was at least a foot long and the bone could be seen. He flew backwards, vomiting blood continuously. Instant kill. It was like swatting a fly. Now that Xiao Han had reached the true Qi realm, even if he sealed his true Qi and did not use any true Qi, his thinking speed was already much faster than a physical body realm martial artist. After a few days of rest and relaxation, he had faintly comprehended through a comprehensive study. His hand blade could now slash out 320 times in a breath, infinitely close to the speed of sound. The power of the blade Qi was violent, killing people and ghosts. With just a slight slash he could tear a wild beast apart. Furthermore, the strength of his flesh shell had reached 350 cauldrons. Among the physical body realm martial artists, at least in the Beacon Fire Empire, there were few who could match him. After sending his opponent flying, Xiao Han casually jumped off the stage. The outer sect disciples on Xiao Han's peak cheered thunderously. The three heads exchanged looks, their eyes filled with shock and incomparable gratification. Direct disciple seating area. Oh, the Xiao Han is a dark horse that suddenly emerged. He hid his strength and bided his time. At the crucial moment he defeated his opponent in one move. The opponent he defeated was ranked 6th in the previous tournament, and he actually killed him in one move. Interesting. A green-robed man circulated his true Qi, forming a nebula whirlpool above his head, and evaluated. This kid is not a match for Xue Jianfeng. Some time ago, I personally brought Xue Jianfeng to the Western Region Desert to hunt the demon race. Xue Jianfeng single-handedly killed dozens of loose demons and a total of 7 demon soldiers. His sword intent has already reached the small success stage and is nearing the middle stage. Killing those of the same realm is as easy as drinking water and eating. He is invincible in the physical body realm. Young Master Ziyu said proudly. Immediately after, he took a deep look at Xiao Han, and the depths of his eyes were filled with disgust. That white-robed man coughed while looking at Xiao Han. His sharp eyes that were like that of an ancient ferocious bird revealed an expression of contemplation. Senior brother, what do you say? You also know what it means to have a sword intent nearing the middle stage. Young Master Ziyu respectfully asked the white-robed man. Ziyu? The white-robed man coughed, and the contemplation in his eyes became more and more intense. This time's outer sect ranking competition might be really interesting. Don't say anything first, let me take a closer look. After speaking, he stared at Xiao Han without blinking. For Xiao Han, the following matches were almost completely ignored by the process. Once on the stage, the opponent would either automatically admit defeat or be knocked off the stage by Xiao Han in one move. Ah Cho did not let him down, and his luck was very good. He won 2 rounds. In the 3rd round he encountered a great expert who was ranked 3rd in the previous tournament, and Ah Cho tactfully admitted defeat. Xue Jianfeng's battle situation was almost the same as Xiao Han's. Outer sect disciples who faced Xue Jianfeng, 90% of them immediately admitted defeat and quit, cursing their bad luck. When Xue Jianfeng fought against the previous tournament's 2nd-ranked opponent, his hands were behind his back, his expression was as calm as water, and he did not even draw his sword. In the air, a strand of sword Qi slashed out, destroying nothingness, and left a sword scar on his opponent's chest, unfathomable. Xue Jianfeng. I didn't think that your sword intent had reached such a level. You are more than several times stronger than last year. I wholeheartedly accept my loss. The previous tournament's 2nd-ranked expert covered the sword wound on his chest and retreated from the stage. One sword instantly defeated the previous tournament's 2nd-ranked existence. His methods were practically invincible. The matches proceeded without any surprises. Those who should have won, and those who shouldn't have won did not cause any surprises. Moreover, Xiao Han and Xue Jianfeng's unparalleled sharpness had already covered up the other participants, causing the other participants to be incomparably dim and mediocre. The first battle of the top 4. Xue Jianfeng against Xiao Han. The inner sect elder announced with a trembling voice. Xiao Han and Xue Jianfeng actually encountered each other in the top 4 battle. This was simply the finals that were staged in advance. The entire arena instantly quietened down. Even a pin drop could be heard. Like a cicada in winter. One was the champion of the previous tournament's outer sect ranking competition. His sword intent was unparalleled and he soared through the clouds. A single sword from the west subdued the world, and he was favored and nurtured by numerous true Qi realm experts. The other was a rising star that had emerged this year. He was a living target, and after a fortuitous encounter, he rose like a comet, overflowing with tyranny and single-handedly destroyed a peak. Even the direct disciple seats had quietened down. Xiao Han and Xue Jianfeng jumped onto the stage. The two of them faced each other from afar. Their gazes clashed in the air, and the atmosphere was filled with gunpowder. Xiao Han, I didn't expect you to reach this step. Shui Jianfeng looked at Xiao Han with a condescending gaze and said coldly. However, this is the end of it. Your life has also come to an end. This person is extremely foolish and has no subtlety. Just a little fortuitous encounter and you come out to clamor, jumping around. You are a despicable person intoxicated by success, and you will die without a doubt. If you knew how to endure, you might have lived a little longer, but forget it, geniuses will always be geniuses and trash will always be trash. Today this seat will let you experience the breathtaking power of a genius. King? The long sword on Shui Jianfeng's back, as if it had a life of its own, jumped out, and was held in Shui Jianfeng's hand. The blade was like autumn water and a divine light surged, shining brightly. This unparalleled divine light, contrasted with Shui Jianfeng's handsome face and his arrogant face, bringing out the best in each other. Begin. Shui Jianfeng's killing intent sword. Since you can make me draw my sword, you will die a worthy death. Begin? Xiao Han was stunned and immediately laughed out loud. Begin? There's no need to begin. It's over. Completely over. Everyone was stunned and did not understand what Xiao Han was saying. What ended? Could it be that he wanted to admit defeat? At this moment, boom. Rays of dazzling divine light burst out from Xiao Han's body, and a berserk true energy surged, causing Xiao Han's body to float in the air. Xiao Han's entire body was bathed in the divine light, and his aura was like that of a deity. His hair moved without any wind, and his clothes billowed like waves. He looked down at Shui Jianfeng in the air as if he was looking at an ant. The seals of the 9 true treasures were undone at the same time. You're right. A genius will always be a genius and trash will always be trash. Shui Jianfeng, in front of me you're just a dog. Oh no, dog shit. Xiao Han laughed sinisterly. In his heart he chanted, Xiao Han, in the past you were a live target and you were smashed to pieces by this guy's fist. Now I will avenge you. Do you see that? Everyone in the audience stood up. Their throats were choked up and they gurgled. Even their breathing stopped. In the seats of true disciples. What's this? What's going on? What's going on? Young Master Ziyu's face was pale. It's the true Qi realm. Heavens. Xiao Han is at the true Qi realm. Unbelievable. Let me take a closer look. I can't make a mistake. A true Qi realm not even 20 years old. Cough cough, this is a shocking matter. Immediately report it. Quickly. The white-robed man coughed as he spoke to a true Qi realm disciple. You immediately report this matter to the sect master. Go now. Go now. Our sect has produced another peerless beauty. It's time for revenge. Does everyone enjoy watching this? Today's monthly tickets are few and far between, and I've been blown to the ground. I'm crying for monthly tickets to be comforted. Thank you. Mars. Chapter 89. The scene was shocking. A true Qi realm cultivator actually managed to sneak into the outer sect ranking tournament. An outer sect disciple who had reached the true Qi realm sealed his true Qi and concealed it from all the true disciples. Then he displayed his prowess and amazed the world with a single feat. This was something that had never happened before in the history of the Pure Cloud sect. According to historical records, there had only been 1 or 2 instances in the history of the Pure Cloud sect. During the inner sect ranking tournament between disciples who were half a step into the true Qi realm, there had been a person who had reached the heavens in a single step. Amidst the intense battle, there had been an epiphany and advanced to the true Qi realm. It was a feat that was worthy of being recorded in the annals of history. However, it was unprecedented for something like this to happen in the outer sect ranking tournament. Shui Jianfeng's face turned pale in an instant. The innate arrogance and condescension on his face froze like a clumsy mask. His entire body was trembling because of fear, because of dignity, because of unwillingness, because of jealousy. Jejij. Shui Jianfeng was like a little chick that had its throat pinched. He let out jejij sounds but was unable to speak. Why? Why is it like this? Why is it that I, Shui Jianfeng, am a genius who advances at a tremendous pace in the martial Tao, am unable to break through the shackles of my body and reach the true Qi realm? And a living target, an extremely lowly person, actually reached the true Qi realm in a single step? Back then, I was able to shatter this living target with just a single punch from me. I was able to trample on his head and trample on him. But a few years later, my My position has actually been reversed. He has reached the true Qi realm while I am just a mortal. How did this happen? Astonishingly. Why? I Shui Jianfeng refuse to accept this. I refuse to accept this. Shui Jianfeng finally roared. His voice was extremely bitter and desolate. As for Xiao Han floated in the air, surrounded by strands of divine light and auspicious clouds. He looked like a deity. And every strand of light was as heavy as a mountain. It was genuine true Qi. A few strands of true Qi floated above Shui Jianfeng's head. In an instant, crack, 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 all of Shui Jianfeng's bones suffered a mountain-like pressure. His knees went soft and he was about to kneel down. No! Shui Jianfeng roared. Sword Qi surged all over his body, and his muscles, bones, skin, flesh, and blood vessels all sprang up as he forcibly held on. Ha ha, kneel down. Xiao Han pointed his right index finger at the air. Pa. Shui Jianfeng was instantly unable to bear the heavy burden, and he forcefully knelt down with a thump. Sure enough, all are ants beneath true energy. I now deeply understand this principle. The spirit turtle's true Qi in each true acupoint of mine is roughly equivalent to 1,000 cauldrons of strength. 9 true acupoints can store 9,000 cauldrons of strength. And how much power could a physical body realm martial artist have? Shui Jianfeng's fleshly body strength is about the same as mine, which is around 300 to 400 ding. Under the suppression of a force of 9,000 cauldrons, a force of a few hundred cauldrons was simply too weak and insignificant. It exploded in an instant. Xiao Han indifferently said as he looked down at Shui Jianfeng, who was kneeling on the ground, with a transcendent mental state that surpassed any physical body realm martial artist. Alright, it's all over. The next moment, shio, endless rays of light and divine radiance began to merge, gradually revealing the embryonic form of the spirit turtle, in the seats of the direct disciples. Xiao Han's true energy is simple and unadorned, with traces of time. It seems like the true energy left behind by the ancient people has been obtained by him. The white-robed man nodded continuously and coughed lightly. His eyes were filled with joy. Our Pure Rain sect has produced another true Qi realm martial artist. This is a joyous occasion. The sect master would definitely be very happy. How long has it been since a new true Qi realm martial artist has appeared? But young Master Ziyu's face was filled with sweat. Senior brother, please stop the massacre. I have spent a large amount of effort and resources to nurture this Shui Jianfeng. Furthermore, in a year and a half, he will be able to break through the barrier and step into the true Qi realm. At that time he will also be a talent. Senior brother, you cannot let him die in the hands of Xiao Han. Xiao Han was just lucky. Senior brother, you have seen it for yourself. Xiao Han's true energy was not cultivated by himself. Instead it was imparted to him. Ziyu, you must remember, luck will always belong to the truly strong. Even if the weak are blessed with luck, they will not be able to enjoy it. Don't say any more. Between Xiao Han and Shui Jianfeng, there must be an irreconcilable feud between them. We cannot break the rules of the competition just because of a half-step true Qi. Half-step true Qi in true Qi realm, which is more important, I believe everyone is very clear in their hearts. The white-robed man said indifferently. If Xiao Han wants to kill Shui Jianfeng, then let him. Because Xiao Han is in the true Qi realm and Shui Jianfeng is not. It is only possible that Shui Jianfeng will step into the true Qi realm in the future, but it is not absolute. The direct disciples present all nodded their heads. At this moment, on the stage, an enormous bronze-colored tortoise had already taken form and landed on the stage. It was as majestic as a mountain, its enormous body occupied half of the stage. It raised its head and swung its tail, stomping on the ground as it approached Shui Jianfeng. Dong, 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 the tortoise's feet stomped on the stage, emitting a thunderous sound. The entire stage shook and cracks appeared. No. Shui Jianfeng kept on retreating, his eyes finally revealing an expression of fear and despair. Don't kill me? Xiao Han. Don't kill me. The past between us will be written off once and for all. Please let me go. I cannot die. I have already touched the doorstep of the true Qi realm. Even if I die, I will not be able to rest in peace. Xiao Han, please don't kill me. Shui Jianfeng finally began to plead. The past between us will be written off once and for all? It seems that you still do not understand the situation. Xiao Han sneered. Dong dong dong, the tortoise forced Shui Jianfeng to the edge of the stage, its huge shadow covering his body. I admit defeat. I admit defeat. At the same time, enough? Young Master Ziyu made a grabbing motion with his right hand. His 5 fingers were like fire dragons. Endless rays of light and divine rainbows surged. 5 fire dragons as thick as water buckets were filled with awe-inspiring divine might. There was nothing they couldn't burn as they shot out explosively towards the divine light screen outside the arena. Presumptuous. A trace of anger flashed past the eyes of the white-robed man as he waved his right hand casually. BFFF. A black feather flashed past and cut the 5 fire dragons in half. Endless sparks and lava splashed all over the ground. In the next moment, the white-robed man's eyes were like a primordial ferocious bird. The sickness on his body disappeared without a trace, and his aura surged violently. His body seemed to grow infinitely, and a giant black bird flashed past his eyes. Ziyu, you are too presumptuous. You actually interfered in the match. More than 10 direct disciples were shocked at the same time and retreated as they spoke. Senior brother, please calm down. Senior brother, please calm down. Young Master Ziyu's eyes were also filled with horror. His body turned cold as he lowered his head deeply. Senior brother, please calm down. Ziyu has lost his composure. On the stage, no. Shui Jianfeng let out a miserable howl. His upper body was already in the mouth of the tortoise and it was lightly bitten. Crack. He was bitten into 2. Blood spurted wildly and he couldn't be more dead. I finally got my revenge. Awesome. Xiaohan nodded slightly. Immediately after, the tortoise disintegrated into rays of light and divine rainbows, merging into Xiaohan's 9 true acupoints. Xiaohan jumped down from midair, tidied his robe and walked down the stage. At this time Xiaohan no longer deliberately sealed his true acupoints. Rays of divine light floated on the surface of his body, and he was as dazzling as the stars. On the seat of Xiaohan's peak. No. It can't be? True Qi realm? Xiaohan. Xiaohan is actually in the true Qi realm. This can't be wrong, right? One of the managers rubbed his eyes. Another manager stuttered and asked Ah Cho who was beside him. Ah Cho, how did Xiaohan reach the true Qi realm in a single step? You should know about this, right? You are on good terms with Xiaohan. Perhaps you know his secret. Good, Xiaohan hid it from us for so long. 3 managers. This disciple also didn't know about this. Ah Cho's face was filled with surprise and joy. That's right. Senior brother Fong might have trained Xiaohan. Senior brother Fong? The 3 managers were stunned. Oh, it's our pure cloud sect's senior brother Fong. He uses a sword and his entire body sword qi bloomed like a lotus, Ah Cho added. Evil hero Fong Ling, one of the 4 evil heroes of our pure cloud sect. He is known as the strongest sword cultivator in the history of pure cloud sect. The 3 managers looked at each other. To us, this kind of person is almost a legend. I didn't expect him to admire Xiaohan. What a great fortune. What a great fortune. Xiaohan's rise is unstoppable. Another true inheritance. Haha, I didn't expect it to come from our peak. Glory. This is the greatest glory of our peak. It will be recorded in the history books. There was no need to compete in the following finals. Xiaohan's life force surpassed all the outer sect disciples and inner sect disciples. He became the champion of the outer sect ranking competition, which was what everyone expected. The prizes were given out. The top 10 of this competition all received all kinds of precious medicines, precious weapons and martial skills and secret manuals floating in the air. Finally, only the Transcendent Saint Pill and the Hornless Dragon Profound Ice True Qi were left in the air. 2 supreme treasures. Cough cough. The white-robed man stood up and waved his hand at Xiaohan. Xiaohan, right? Come here. Oh. Xiaohan paused for a moment before slowly walking over. The demon egg in his heart and the tattoo of the demon emperor's palm on his left arm were deeply hidden like dust, unnoticeable. Senior brother, Ziyu isn't feeling well. I'll take my leave first. Young Master Ziyu gave Xiaohan a deep look before turning into a ray of light and disappeared in an instant. Xiaohan walked in front of the white-robed man. With a little observation, he saw that the white-robed man's body was shining with a total of 55 pointed stars. The stars were floating and the true qi was dense. Oh, this is a big shot. He opened a total of 50 true meridians and is at the peak of the 5th level of true qi. If he opens another true meridian, he will step into the 6th level of true qi. Even senior brother Fong has only opened 48 true meridians. His cultivation level is even higher than senior brother Fong's. Xiaohan silently thought. Not bad at all. Very impressive. The white-robed man looked at Xiaohan amiably. A friendly smile flashed across his ferocious bird-like eyes, but he had already seen Xiaohan's state of vitality. Xiaohan, you just stepped into the true Qi realm, right? Did you open 9 true meridians in one go? The group of true disciples looked at Xiaohan curiously. Yes, everyone. Senior brothers, I just entered the true Qi realm and opened 9 meridians. I also had a fortuitous encounter and obtained spirit turtle true Qi from an ancient person's cave. Xiaohan admitted. What? Just entered the true Qi realm and opened 9 meridians in a row? How enchanting. Comparisons are odious. When I first entered the true Qi realm, I only opened 4 true meridians, not even half of junior brother Xiaohan's. I reached the true Qi realm at the age of 21. Junior brother Xiaohan should be around 16 or 17 years old. My talent and willpower cannot compare to junior brother Xiaohan. Now, these true disciples all addressed Xiaohan as junior brother. It was as if they were of the same generation. But it made sense. Xiaohan was also at the true Qi realm now, so becoming a true disciple was a certainty. Junior brother Xiaohan, your aptitude is very good. To be able to open 9 true meridians in one go is extremely rare in the entire Beacon Fire Empire. You might even become a hero in the future. The white-robed man's eyes were filled with admiration and admiration. Junior brother Xiaohan, I am Dongfang Qin, the second senior brother of this generation's true disciples of the Pure Cloud sect. You can call me Senior Dongfang. This true Qi that you obtained is truly a unique path. It can conceal your presence so well that even I was fooled by you. Amazing. Second senior brother? Xiaohan was startled and blurted out. What about senior brother Fang Ling? Oh? Junior brother Xiaohan, you know junior brother Fang? He is this generation's true disciple of the Pure Cloud sect and is ranked 3rd. Dongfang Qin said with a pleasant expression. Alright, junior brother Xiaohan, go and see the sect master now. If he knows that our Pure Cloud sect has such a talented youth like you, he will definitely be overjoyed. Dongfang Qin smiled and waved his right hand. The Transcendent Saint Pill and Hornless Dragon Profound Ice True Qi had already fallen into his hands. Junior brother Xiaohan, this is your reward. Dongfang Qin smiled. Many thanks, senior brother Dongfang. Xiaohan received the pill and True Qi manual with both hands. He licked his lips and immediately stored the 2 treasures into his true meridians. Now that Xiaohan had opened his true meridians, the storage ring was useless. All the items could be stored in the true meridians and soaked in True Qi. Let's go and see the sect master now. Junior brother Xiaohan, you will soon have your own mountain peak and cave residence. Your status will soar and you will become a core true disciple of the Pure Cloud sect. You will truly ascend to the heavens in a single bound. See the sect master? See the current sect master of the Pure Cloud sect? Oh my god. That is a legendary super expert. I, Xiaohan, am actually able to see him? Xiaohan only felt that everything was like a lifetime ago. The once living target, a lowly person, had finally soared to the heavens. I finally have the chance to explore this mysterious and endless world in the unknown future. You're tuning in to the Han Li's Wuxia Adventures YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.